It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No one here cares.
You care.
I don't. I really, really don't.
But you do.
No, but I genuinely don't.
But you do.
So are we gonna start this, or?
Yes.
I thought you were ready.
I am. I'm just sharing the stuff.
You're just dicking around. Dicking around. Dicking around. Dicking around. He's just dicking around.
Where's the share?
But also, if I get this thing, and it does work out where I could even use it in here, then I don't need to get a new stand, and it will all have worked out.
Yes. Exactly.
For me, it's just showing a black screen, even though it says live.
Really, because on mine it says there's. I'm looking right.
Use it in here, then I don't need to get a new stand. I do hear us, and it will all have worked out. But I don't see us, which makes me think it's me.
That tells me it's probably you.
There we go. Closed it, reopened it. Now I see us, as well as a swank beige background.
Yeah. Really, it looks beige to you? It's on my screen. It's yellow.
I won't show up.
I know. I just see the green screen of your face.
I wouldn't call that yellow. But
yeah, it's very much yellow. It's like a yellow, and then it's got like a sunrise, cresting. It's like a sun thing. Okay.
I really wish I could show you what I'm seeing on my screen, and then you could tell me if it's the same. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't call that yellow. I'd call that beige.
See, on my
beige
phone,
with a white sun.
On my phone, it looks yellow, but it's possible that it's your tablet. That is possible.
It is, or we just have different definitions of what yellow is.
I just feel like see on my screens it looks like the yellow of the pillow on the chair on our podcast studio.
Yeah, no, I would not call this that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like on my screen, and I just feel like if you're looking at my screen, you would agree with me.
Like it to me, it looks closer to. Honestly, my wall color.
Yeah, I would say that's yellow.
I would not call that yellow.
Not bright yellow, I
wouldn't call that yellow.
Like, you mean like our hallway walls?
No, I mean like my bedroom, which I guess is the same color as the hallway walls. So yes, I guess.
I would have said.
I wouldn't.
Would have said like a Dijon, but yeah. To me, it looked anyway. It doesn't matter.
We've gone wildly off tangent here. It's not the point. I was just saying to me, I wouldn't call that.
Oh, see, when it's minimized, it looks beige. When it's minimized, it looks beige. I will give you that. So
maybe it's just because of the screen, the size of my screen, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because I will give it to you. When it is minimized, it absolutely does look beige. I will give you that. It's like if you've got it minimized and you've got like
yeah, it's like half. It's half my screen size at the moment.
I'll give you that. It does when I have it minimized to pull up in my articles. It does look beige. I will give you that. Okay. How do we want to do this, Jordan?
Like when I think yellow, I think like in the the Google yellow, like the actual yellow.
Yeah.
That's yellow to me.
Yeah, this is like a mustard, a Dijon mustard yellow. But
I can see it, I guess. But anyways, wild tangent.
Okay.
So today is brought to you by
yellow.
The Arties Media. Yeah, by the color yellow.
By the color yellow.
And the number 12.
And the letter Z. This has been a weird YouTube preamble. I need to pull open my calculator. There we go. Okay. Go to the pre-show. We're late for the show because Justin has been tired and sicky all morning.
You're so bright.
It's because my overhead light's really bright.
Like, yeah, you look like almost pale now.
Is that okay? No, not.
Whoa, now you're really blurry.
Okay, there we go. Focus. How is that?
No, you're blurry again.
Okay. Focus, camera. Focus. There we go. Now we're focused.
That looks better.
It still looks kind of. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pale. Maybe that's why I always look so washed out. Anyway, in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, you can head to... Nope. I lost it. Oh my god, that hasn't happened in a while. My brain just went flat.
So disappointed
Yeah,
in
let's
you.
do that again in 3, 2, 1.
Roll it back. Roll it back.
Rolling it back in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you the. Oh my God, what is wrong with me today, Jordan? I'm having one of those days again. In 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, they can provide you with the tools and resources to do so there. So please head to artemedia.org. That's ARETE media.org. On with the show, Jordan.
We did it on the first try.
As far as
Spotify
and YouTube Music and Apple Music is concerned, and iHeartRadio.
Did it on the first try.
We got it on the first try, and you will not know any differently.
Now they do.
Now they know. Dang it. On today's show, I did the promo, Jordan, and I realized I forgot to say this. We're going to start off. We're going to do a way too late Zootopia 2 review. I almost forgot about that. Any spoilers?
I didn't. I just said it was a good movie.
They don't give them any spoilers for our review. You gotta leave them wanting for more. Now they know that we think it's a good movie.
That's the teaser.
Oh, that's the hook.
They didn't know that we thought it. They knew that I thought it was. You could have come in strong and been like, this movie was trash.
He's right. But that's coming up first.
You keep giving the game away, man. This is all on you.
It is on me. I will admit it's on me. And then news. We got news. We got Malcolm in the Middle trailer, which I am super stoked to talk about. I'm going to make Jordan try to guess a bunch of Avengers trailers because I think that's going to be funny.
I've seen 2.
Wonder Man trailer. And really, you've seen 2. And more news. And then later on, it's the first show of the year. And traditionally, for the first show of the year, we do the year we were born. But today, I'm realizing you're looking at I'm not in full screen. But today, we're going to talk about... That's okay. We're still in the intro. It's fine. Today we're going to talk about the day we were born, or within a couple of days, because this turned out to be much harder than I thought it was going to be. But that's later. Let's come in later. But first, let's talk about Disney's animated movie, solid movie. Oh, actually, no. Just real quick, I wanted to mention one comment to you, Jordan, because I thought it was funny.
Funny haha or funny mean?
Can't it be both?
No. It's one or the other.
Funny, haha. Damn Discord mods. No, I'm kidding. No, it was on one of our shorts about Hoodwinked, where we said it looked bad and it looked even bad for the time, and someone commented that was a real dramatic reaction to the animation. It's fine. Hardly ruins the movie. Hardly worth self-mutilation, and it's not spectacular, but the movie comes out to fun overall.
Yeah, that's what we said.
To wit, I would say, in response to that, the comments like that always make me go, were we that dramatic about this? And then I rewatched the clip, and it was, no, we just said it looks bad for the time, which it does. It does look bad for the time.
It does look bad for the time.
How did our...
We otherwise heaped a whole bunch of praise on it.
Yeah, what about that isolated clip was self-mutilation? I don't fully understand. We weren't like, oh, it's so bad we want to kill ourselves. We were like, it's bad animation. Which, again, it came out after Shrek. I think several years after Shrek 2 even. So, there are better-looking animated movies out there. But, yes, we did go on to say that it is also an incredibly funny movie that is totally underrated. So
yeah, I mean, I said that I think it would be a fun one for the YouTube animators to do their, reanimation thing.
I don't disagree, because Shrek Retold is legitimately good. I kind of want to do it for the show one day. I might do it for the show one day, because it is legit good. If you like Shrek, it is legit good. There's some really fun moments in it that I've showed Jordan. My personal favorite is when they turn the bit where he fights all the guards into anime, and I thought that was funny.
I mean, yeah, it's just fun being able to see different people do different styles,
right?
You know?
You like to see people get to be creative. There's a ton of different. There's a really good version of it where they've done it with RoboCop, where a different filmmaker did their own version of a scene from RoboCop. It's always fun. It's always fun to see people be creative and
even if it was just a studio that was redoing it, I would also still do it where each of the stories, like the Wolf story versus Riding Hood story, is in a different animation style.
Fun. I like that. That's good.
And it makes the story just different every time, right? That's what I would do.
that is an excellent transition into our first topic of the day, Jordan, which is big time review, because we always do the reviews up top now, for Zootopia 2 Second Zootopia. Now, we're going to talk about this in two fashions. We're going to talk about it just generally, no spoilers, because this is a Zootopia movie. There is shit to spoil. And then we will give you the warning. We'll say bunny earmuffs, and that will be your opportunity to put us on mute while we talk about the spoilers. That seem fair for everyone involved? Excellent. Now, so Jordan, general thoughts. How did you feel of this?
I had a lot of fun with this one. I laughed
so
a surprising amount. I had just a delightful good time. Like there to the point where even just the theater experience, like yeah, some of the kids were a little vocal, but they were having a good time.
Yeah,
and
right?
it was good to see kids having a good time with what I feel is a intellectually growing movie.
Is it? We
has
talked about this. Is it better than
it
the
has
first one?
I have a hard time saying that for things that are good because like the first one was also good and this one wouldn't exist without the first one.
Fair point. Fair point. Fair point.
So I have a hard time saying yes to that because a lot of what makes this one good, and this is not spoilers necessarily, but this is just a general statement, but a lot of what makes this one good is the further development of things that were set up in the first one.
I
Like
agree.
the dynamic between Judy and Nick Wilde
so good.
is so good, but that's because they built it like because they have that first one as a foundation, they can go further and do more in this
I do
one.
have
So
criticisms, but
it's hard for me to sum it up and put a nice little bow on it. It's hard for me to say this is better because a lot of what makes this better originates from the first one.
That is fair. I do have criticisms as it pertains to the first one, but I think they're kind of vaguely spoilery, so I think I will save them. But you're right. This movie's very funny. I don't know if it's funny. I think it might be funnier than the first one. There's so many jokes in this. Like, they go by so fast. We're not going to get all of them because they go by so fast. They go
by fast enough that, like, I can't remember them all, but I know they were there.
There's so many jokes that if you're an animal lover, like, if you love animals, there are so many jokes that are just good animal jokes. Like, there's so many better animal jokes in this movie than the first one, I would say. I would maybe say it's funnier than the first one. Because there's so many just solid, like, I don't think this is a spoiler, but one of my favorite bits is, because in case you know, the plot of it is that Judy and Nick are on the run with the snake because they've been framed for a thing that the trailers didn't give away.
for a thing.
Yeah, the trailers didn't give away what the thing was, but they did give away that they were being framed. And there's a bit where they're being chased by the cops. And they're being chased by these hippo cops who are coming at them super fast. Like, they're super fast coming underwater. And it shows them underwater, and they're just running along the bottom. And the image of the hippo face coming at them, that's what it looks like when a hippo chases you. Like, I've seen enough videos of hippos chasing you that you're like, yeah, that's funny. That's a funny joke. Or like, yeah, the lizard. There's a little lizard character who he runs across. Like, he's played by Danny Trejo. And he's super
runs
serious.
Across the water.
And there's a moment where he just flops across the water. Or there's a moment where there's a polar bear who just cracks open a Coke.
Or the koala with the four thumbs.
4 thumbs up. Yeah, that's funny. That was what's his face? Robert Furwin. Robert Furwin. Yeah, who's he's the travel agent for Australia, which is funny. But yeah, there's so many. Okay. I think we're gonna. It's good.
Bunny earmuffs.
We might almost be at bunny earmuffs. The one thing I want to say is I was impressed by how busy this was. Still.
Yeah, third week in, and it was like full.
It was like full. Now, to be fair, that could be the theater we were at. That theater is a busier theater. It's not like our local theater. You know, it's a bit.
Yeah, but still,
we've gone to a busy theater and we've been in an empty show before. So like that doesn't necessarily say anything. And it was a Saturday afternoon, so that. But still, like, I was surprised that they weren't in. I don't know what other kids' movies are out right now, but I was surprised that there were so many kids in there. That was legit impressive. That makes me happy because you want to see people out at the movie theaters.
Especially at movies that aren't just Moana 2.
Right? This thing is, yeah, it's a sequel, but it's got some depth to it.
It is a
like
sequel.
We said last week. It's got some depth to it.
Yeah, it's got depth, and I think that was one thing that I really appreciated. So bunny earmuff.
I think we're at bunny earmuffs now. Now, bunny earmuffs. We good? We good. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
There is a twist villain. and it's really obvious who it is because you've seen the first movie. They telegraph it really early, and I don't know, maybe if you were a kid, it might get by you. I could see it maybe getting by you if you
I
were a
could see it
kid.
getting by it as a kid.
But the bunny from the first one, we're gonna spoil the first one. The bunny from the first one, legit, it got me. That twist was way more effective in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of people who are critical of the
bunny
Disney,
from the first one.
not the
You
bunny,
mean
the sheep. Sorry,
the sheep? Yeah.
the sheep.
Mayweather.
Yeah. That legit caught me because I was expecting it to be the lion, and that's part of the themes of that movie. So I was expecting him to be the bad guy, but it felt like the movie thought that it was being more clever with that twist than it was, and I just don't think it was.
Well,
it was really, he was just like way too nice. Immediately.
The reason why the movie thinks that it's being cleverer than it is because it's trying to present this character. I don't remember what his name is. Peter, I think, or whatever.
Something like that. I just know he was
it's something really generic.
The whole movie, I was like, is that Andy Samberg?
But the reason, like, what it's trying, or what I think it's trying to do, is it's trying to present this character who I'm going to call Paul. It's trying to treat Paul like he's the carnivore version of Judy.
Yeah.
Where he defies the
Absolutely.
expectations of what his family are like and what the people around him are like and what society says he's supposed to be. So the entire time you're supposed to be like, okay, so he's your classic, like, he's a predator, but he's a good predator and he's a good guy. And
but it's just,
he's gonna be
nice
another
immediately for that. So you're like,
but like, yeah, if you've seen 10,000 kids movies like we have,
he's Hans, man.
They're tropes for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, that's another. So many funny background gags. The movies, the varying animal movies are funny.
Yeah, that's a continuation from the second one.
There's a couple of really specific references to,
like, there was Frozen 2.
There's one point. One of the characters they run into is very specific. I didn't get that. I totally didn't get that. I think it's not the dad, but his siblings, Andy Samberg's siblings, are Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
I completely missed that.
That's funny.
I saw a clip of it later. And it turns out that the son
I mean, that's like how Michael J. Fox is playing Michael the Fox, but they don't actually call him anything in the movie.
That's pretty funny. But yes, so the big twist is, spoilers, that, Andy Samberg, the son of the evil bad guys who are immediately reveal themselves as evil immediately with no hesitation, it turns out that he is also actually evil. You think that they want you to think that snakes. It's a metaphor for racism again. They want you to think that snakes
I was gonna say that's kind of my one complaint, is that it is kind of retreading the first one in that regard. First one, people were prejudiced against the predators. In this one, they're prejudiced against the reptiles.
But it's also about colonization as well in this one. That's what it's about. And it's about land and people who are native to land and people being misunderstood.
There's a couple points where there's some, like, deep, meaningful speeches that I'm like, man, this is really relevant to what's going on in our world nowadays.
I mean,
and I'm like, it's good. That's good.
More
kids movies need to be able to have deep stuff like that.
It's also a great movie if you're like a fan of snakes, because it's a really accurate representation of snakes. It's just, frankly, snakes have
where they're not the bad guys, but people have for years thought they were.
They are, but no, a snake will never bite you. A snake won't bite you unless you
never. It will. You can never say never.
A snake will only bite you for two reasons traditionally. The aggressive snakes don't really exist. They're a flight animal. They're not a fight animal.
Yeah, that I would agree with.
They will bite you for one of two reasons. They're either scared of you, or they think you're food. So, like, there's times where, like, I have a friend who she deals with snakes, and she said one got her really good because she didn't wash her hands properly, and her hands.
And she smelled like the mice.
And so she was like, "That's not on the animal. That's on me. I didn't wash my hands properly. It's not their fault. They were just doing what they're programmed to do." And that's a really good representation of, he's a really sweet guy, and snakes are really sweet animals. Like, they're really, really sweet. Like, they'll just sit on you and just be chill. Like, they're cool animals. They're like sharks in that they have just this phenomenally terrible
Not all
reputation.
snakes are created equal.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing. Some of
I
them, like some of the like garden snakes that you can find, are just this they're sweet little things. They're tiny little cute,
right.
adorable things that
It's
just why you can
funny
boop their
though,
snoot like any other animal.
right? It's funny though because when I was watching it, I kept being like, you know what? There weren't any reptiles in Zootopia 1. There weren't any water animals in Zootopia 1. Like, not really, not that I could think of. I don't think we saw any reptiles in that movie. So I just made me wonder, like,
I don't
was
think
that
so.
intentional or was that just a weird coincidence that they just played it? I do know that much like the first one because apparently the first one was like a completely different movie where Judy was like Nick's sidekick basically, and it was almost completely different. And then midway they changed everything. Apparently this was very similar where initially there was going to be a time jump. Between
Interesting. Well, I mean, there was a time jump.
well, not really like a major time jump. This was like a week
Mm.
later. That was really going to be like a couple years later, and they had been working together for a while. And I guess that would have been the
Don't they have it at the beginning of this where it's like they have the whole thing that happened in the first one, then it's supposed to be like a year or two later?
no, it's only a week later.
You sure?
Yes, positive. They say in the movie. He said it's 1 week later. It's been 1 week since we've been partners, or 2 weeks. So it's been a couple weeks. It hasn't been years. Because that was a big thing. There was an interview I saw Jennifer Goodwin talking about it, where she was like, initially it was. They wrote it so it was going to be multiple years later, but no, it's only a week. Pretty sure it was a week. It might be 2 weeks.
I believe you,
Um,
as far as you know.
I assumed you were looking it up.
As far as you know, I'm not.
Um, yes, the animation is stellar. I love the subtleties and Nick's expressions in the beginning. I love how he's just going through it. That's funny. What else? Is there anything else, Jordan? Anything else worth saying, talking about, mentioning?
I mean, there's a lot of strong acting. There's the secret end of credits thing, which sets up, spoiler alert, birds are the next thing.
Birds are the next thing. Um,
Because yeah,
oh, I
they
remember
don't
now.
they don't they don't live in Zootopia either. It also presents me questions with this world, like with this world. Like Zootopia is just one city that we spend a lot of time in, but like there's an entire rest of the world. What's that look like? Or is there like is New Orleans like run by fish people?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't
Like,
know.
what does that look like? Like,
Um,
it wasn't really a thing until they said that like there are lizards and stuff that exist outside of Zootopia. I didn't think about the world outside of Zootopia
well, I mean, I
until
kind of did because the
that.
bunnies don't live in Zootopia.
They live close enough to Zootopia
Close-ish,
though,
but like, yeah,
which is like it would be the equivalent of like okay, Zootopia is like Memphis or like Austin, Texas, and like they live like an hour from Austin, Texas. So it's like
yeah.
it's
If
that kind of equivalent. So I'm like, I want to know, like, what does Canada look like?
Yeah. Well, now if I were to make a criticism, which I don't like doing about movies like this, it's a good movie. Go watch it with your kids. Like you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I were to be critical, I would say that I do think that Judy Hopps' arc is not good, or I should say, not as strong as Nick's. Nick Wilde gets a way better arc. His arc is way more complete, way more fulfilled. Her arc is
Yeah.
confused because initially she gets pulled aside by the bull chief or whatever, and he's
Well,
like,
yeah.
not every case is a
Bogo.
big Bogo. Yeah, not every case is a big hero case, and sometimes it's just a normal case. But every time like she's constantly proven right throughout the movie, and she's just kind of a super cop who can just kind of seemingly do anything, and is right about everything, and all of her suspicions are correct. And there's not a payoff for this idea that like you don't need to be a hero. I guess maybe the payoff is her getting hit by the snake venom by Andy Samberg. I guess is maybe supposed to be.
Well,
But
I
she
think
she does this thing where she goes to him and she's like, you could be
I
different, and he's like, nah, I can't, and then that never pays off in any way.
I I think that kind of the idea with her is was supposed to be that like because there's a point there where they both say their insecurities and they both say like what they're
Yeah, but it just doesn't. It's
avoiding.
not
And
as
so I
her
think
part of it is not as strong for me.
I think like with her the idea is supposed to be like she had a hero bunny complex. So like everything had to be a knockout like life-changing mission because she had to prove that she was just as good as everyone else. And by the end of the movie, she kind of comes to realize that that doesn't matter as much to her as her partner does, which, as an aside, the fact that they kept saying my partner, and they didn't kiss at any point really bothered me.
Well, yeah, they seemed real nervous to go the romantic route, but they really wanted to.
They're really hinting
Really
at it
wanted
really
to.
strongly,
They
like
really want to, but they clearly are like, people are not gonna. It's gonna be a bridge too far. I think is maybe what it is. People are gonna be
it's just
weirded
it was
out by
driving
it.
it
It
was
is.
driving
They
me
keep hinting at
crazy.
it the whole movie, and that nothing
They
becomes of it.
don't do anything with it.
But yeah, I just didn't think her character arc was as strong as his. I just didn't think
No,
it
it
was.
wasn't, but it wasn't. I would argue that's hearing that he was supposed to be the main guy in the first one originally explains a lot because I would argue a lot of the plot of the first one revolves around him too.
A little bit, but
Um,
not as much.
I
He,
don't
he was
know.
gonna be like initially. She's the main character of that first movie. This they share. Who's the main character, but she's the main character of that first movie. He's a supporting character in that movie.
I stand by what I said.
But yeah, it's good. But I don't. None of that matters. It's
No,
funny.
it's still
It's
great,
clever.
still fantastic,
If you
funny,
like
clever,
that's me.
smart, enjoyable movie.
I hate accusing people of, but if I were to, that's me nitpicking. That's what that is. That's legit. Like, it's legit funny. It's funny. It's cute. It's a good time. It's
And
clever. Your
most
kids are gonna love
importantly
it.
for
It's not
me,
scary.
yeah, most importantly for me, it doesn't feel like it's dumbing down a generation.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
a lot of kids movies lately have felt like that, where it's like, ooh, it's just shiny colors and pretty lights,
Yeah,
just to keep them entertained for the next like whatever. But like this actually feels like it has a point, it has something that it's trying to
I
say,
maintain they should make
and
a.
it doesn't dumb it down, but it also makes it approachable.
I maintain that even if you don't do, like it doesn't have the characters from the movie, they should do Law and Order, but it's Zootopia.
That was my idea.
I know, and I agree. They should do Law and Order, but it's Zootopia.
It writes itself.
Right? You don't need you
I
don't
mean
you
I
don't need Nick and Judy. You can make original characters. You can make new
no,
characters.
no, no, fuck that. Nick and Judy's actor and actress both came from TV. They can slum it.
I know, but I'm just saying if they can't slum it, they don't have the time or whatever. I'm
Heck,
just saying
heck, they don't even have to be in every
just make
episode.
it
Like
generally.
if you have like a 10 episode season, then they're in 3 of the
Do
episodes,
what
and
Monsters Inc. did.
the rest of the episodes can be a new character.
I was gonna say do what Monsters Inc. did. Invent a new character. Boom. Problem solved. Solve the problem. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. Yeah. It's done. I'm gonna give that a no. We don't do numbered ratings. I'm gonna give it a 4 foxtails out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 8 bunny ears out of 10.
All right. All right. The scale makes no
I
sense.
can't give it 9 bunny ears because that's cruel, because that means that one of those bunnies was in a terrible accident and lost its bunnies, and or lost its ear, and I just can't do that to the
There's a
bunnies.
malformed bunny out there somewhere, and I just can't live with that.
I can't do that. That's just not I couldn't live with that on my conscience.
That's it. That's our review for Zootopia. Go check it out. We're 3 weeks too late, but who cares? It's a good movie. Who needs to be algorithmically relevant to Disney always does well. I'm sure this video will do well no matter what. That's it. End card. Play the end card. Let's do the news.
Ba-da-ba,
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
ba-da-ba.
I want to start with the news, Jordan. I want to start with the trailer for this drop. This dropped. It was a surprise. I was not expecting this to drop. The trailer for Malcolm in the Middle: Life's Unfair. And
Life's still unfair?
Oh yeah, sorry. Life's still unfair. And Jordan, I'm not gonna lie to you. The special 4-part event that was definitely a movie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Looks like a lot of fun.
I got unreasonably excited for it.
When,
People are saying
when does that come out again?
April 10th.
April?
People are saying it looks too shiny. I completely disagree. It looks just like the original show.
I think it looks
Um,
fairly accurate to the original
my
show.
one thing is, and this is because of the kind of show we do. There is a plot hole in there, theoretically, if you paid attention to the
I
original
don't.
show. Really, you didn't catch it? Okay. Piama's there at the end of
It's been too long. I haven't.
at the end of Malcolm in the Middle. It is revealed off screen that him and Francis and Piama got divorced, and
I mean,
there's a
that
number
that
of
can.
episodes. Hold on, let me finish. There's a number of episodes towards the end of the series where they're divorced. So they could resolve it by being like they got back together, but as of right now, it's a plot hole.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the thing is that like yeah they could have been like oh yeah no turns out that like a month later after that they found out that she was pregnant so they got back together because he felt responsible
I just am impressed at how all the actors like they've gotten like everyone's
or
coming back pretty much.
or you just retcon it and say that didn't happen.
Sure, they're gonna retcon it and say that didn't happen because that was a bad ending for that character and I hated it. So I'm happy she's back. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like I'm a nerd on the internet. There's a plot hole. Um,
Or like like what they could do. What I would do, because I think this is just stupid enough that it's funny, is I would have it be where like, yeah, they had the story happens or whatever, and like there's a line where he's like, oh no, no, yeah, no, we never broke up. She just hated you, Mom.
yeah.
She wanted an excuse to never have to visit with you again.
Well, no, it sounds based on the trailer. It looks like Malcolm is the only one. Like they've all stuck it out together and remained in contact. And
I still
Malcolm is
think
the
my
one.
joke is funnier.
Malcolm is the one who's getting. So the according to this, the synopsis of this is. After shielding himself from his family for over a decade, Malcolm is dragged back into their orbit when Hal and Lois demand his presence at their 40th anniversary party. And I think it would be funny. I saw someone say this as well, but if Malcolm just over the course of these 4 episodes starts to like act like what he was when he was a teenager, and like I want one shot of him doing something horrible with Reese and like looking at the camera and be like, I don't know why I did this.
I don't know how he
Frankie
talked me
Muniz
into
doing it. I don't know how we
Yeah.
talk. He just does this for some reason. He talked me into it.
Before or like he looks like he cuts to it and he looks into the camera and he like I just don't know how we got to this. Before I knew it, I was on my knees and I was lighting the firecracker.
Right? The
Like I
light
don't
just
know.
appeared in my hand. I don't know how it happened.
I blacked out. One moment we were talking about doing this, and the next minute I was burning down mom and dad's house.
They only showed because it looks like he has a wife and 2 kids, or a wife and a daughter, and apparently, Jamie is going to be in it as an adult, I think, and apparently they had one more kid, which I completely missed, who is going to be non-binary. That's the one who's going to be non-binary.
I only remember them having the one extra kid.
I think by the end of it, at the end of the show, she's pregnant again. I think it's revealed. But
Okay.
I think someone said Reese is gonna have a kid. Maybe. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happened with Francis. It's doing this is always funny because you see people arrive to things months late. So the internet this week was like, they recast Dewey, and I'm like, way to be months late to that news. You don't see him much in the trailer at all, which is interesting. This article is funny because it's really
That's
disrespectful.
because I suspect I suspect when it comes to Dewey, he will be more of a seen not heard kind of character because he got recast.
Maybe. I mean, I guess it would depend on at what point in the process he got. They chose to recast. Like if
Also because in terms of the
But
family
also-
dynamic, him and Malcolm were never really the ones that had issues.
Yeah, true. Well,
Not really.
In later seasons, they did. Yeah, they very much did. But Dewey became a character. He basically became Malcolm in later seasons, where he was put upon. That was his whole bit, as those seasons go on. So yeah, he did kinda, but
Not in the same way that him and Reese did.
not in the same way.
Or
that
him
he
and
would-
Francis.
Yeah, but the dynamics between those characters changed. So like by the end of the show, Dewey and Francis were really close. So Dewey spent a lot of time with Francis because they didn't know what to do with Francis. Like he got
Yeah, but I'm
fired.
looking at this like Malcolm has been away for 30 something years. They're all adults.
10 years.
Whatever. They're all adults, and Dewey is grown up, and probably they just won't do a lot of talking.
No, I suspect he'll probably exist with only 4 episodes to work with. I was impressed to see that all of Hal's friends are still there. Like they're all coming back. I was like, that's impressive. Like it truly looks like this looks like as far as like sitcom reboots are concerned, like this looks like it's putting in the effort. It's getting the people back. It's like it's not like one of those ones where it's like, oh yeah, we've only got 2 of the original cast members, so what's the point? Like I'm excited for this guy's.
Most of them.
Yeah, this looks like there's actual effort and thought, and like from what I've seen with interviews with Frankie Muniz, he really wants this to succeed. So I have every bit of faith. It looks great. I was excited for this.
From my fan fiction side of my brain, or my fan what I want, Um, you know, I can't remember the character's name and I can't remember the actress's name, but the girl who was in the class with Malcolm, who like had the crush on him and was like always wanting to hang around with him, and then she grew up and then developed,
Yes.
and Reese, you know the character?
Yeah.
I would be awesome if there was a scene where like him and her ran into each other like while he was out getting coffee or whatever, and like she still had a thing for him and he kind of has a thing for her, but he's married with children now and he's like, those were good times, and there's just like some callback to how he was terrible to her,
I mean, I
like how he was a shit to her because he was
y-
bad to her.
not. I mean, she wasn't. From what I recall, it's been a little bit since I watched that show, but she wasn't really. She was kind of a thing at first, and then she left, and then she came back for like one episode, and then she left again, and they never referenced
There
her.
was always
So
there
I
was always in
just
the show. There was always the dynamic between them, like they should have ended up together.
not. No, not really.
Yes.
She's a character in the beginning of the show in like season 1 and 2, but by like season 7, no, she comes back for the episode you're talking about, and then she never comes back again.
I stand by what I said.
So like, I just don't know that that's an iconic enough character that
In the Malcolm and the yeah, she is.
not really.
Yeah,
She was in season 1 and
she is.
but who knows. Um, um, Jordan, they released the trailer for the Muppet Show, the teaser trailer, and
Yeah, it looks fun except for Kermit.
except for Kermit, sounds wrong. And like, I just number one thing. I mean, we're not going to go into how we would fix it because we've already talked to death about that. But, um, um, it's additionally frustrating to me because in the time since we've talked about this last, they announced that they brought back Rizzo and Bean Bunny, that was the guy who did Kermit before, and they sound. I think I sent you a clip of him, right?
Yeah, I've seen
He
stuff with
sounds
him. Yeah,
all right. Like it sounds
he
slightly
sounds. Yeah, he
different,
sounds right.
and like there's certain characters where they've switched them, like Elmo. I thought about this. I thought about the characters that you wouldn't know they ever changed. Elmo, Cookie Monster, basically the Sesame Street characters. They don't get messed with, but for whatever reason they're insistent on sticking with this voice for Kermit, and nobody can figure out why. And then what was interesting about this trailer is how it kept popping up, and everyone kept saying the exact same thing, which is
Kermit doesn't sound right.
um that's part of it, but it's good, but
Oh, it's good, but Kermit doesn't sound right.
there you go. And yes, it looks good, but Kermit doesn't sound right. Every single TikTok, Twitter, friggin' Threads, Facebook, everywhere. Where it's like, and then it gets divided into two people, groups of people telling us to get over it. It's been 10 years, get over it. And then the other people trying to justify it, and then people like us just being blanketly mad at it. And like, the reason that it bothers me is not that he sounds different. And I understand that there's a lot of people on the internet who don't get that a Muppet is so much more than the voice. Like,
Yeah, but the voice is a big part of it.
He's not just doing the voice. So it's not as easy as just replacing the voice or dubbing over the voice. Like it's about the performance. So yeah, probably Disney likes how he performs the character, the physicality,
The
whatever,
puppeteering.
the
Yeah.
puppeteering. They might just be the most qualified puppeteer to play that character. That having been said, I don't believe that. I surely within the Muppet people themselves, there's got to be someone who can do a better Kermit voice. Like there just has to be. There's 1,000 people on the internet who do it better than him, and it bothers me because I hate saying that because I'd like to talk to him on the internet one day, but also. He's a very talented puppeteer, and there's other characters he does well, and the fact that every other character sounds more or less okay is frustrating. It makes it
I
more
mean,
frustrating
it ultimately
and
for
noticeable,
me,
distracting.
what it ultimately for me is like, yeah, and I think we said this off screen, but like you can change a voice. I
Nominally,
understand. I understand that he's not like that. You're not going to get Jim Henson to
right?
be doing it
Obviously not.
anymore.
Yeah,
I like that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can get a person who, yes, maybe he sounds different. Like there are dozens of versions of Goku, for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
each of them are valid in their own way, but there's a particular way that he has to be. He has to be like that innocent kind of like there's
Yeah,
characteristics
yeah, and
that
he
you
kind
have to
of.
get across. And for me, when it comes to when I hear him, and I think this is the problem. If he hadn't done Constantine first,
I don't know, man. I
I
still think
feel
it would be
he you would
off.
still hear that he would be off, but like for me, I wouldn't hear like okay, so for example, when I saw that clip of the Muppet Show, I don't hear Kermit. I hear Constantine pretending
Oh,
to be
see,
Kermit.
I don't hear
If
that
he if
anymore. I
he
stopped hearing that
if
a
he
long
had
time ago.
never oh I that's all I hear. And if he had never been Constantine, I'd be like he sounds like a weird Kermit, but he's Kermit. But it's
Um,
because I've heard him as something else, that's all I
See,
hear.
for me, it's entirely in the vocal timbre. It's the pitching of it. It's the way he doesn't do the up and down inflection that Kermit is known for. He's kind of there a little bit that I can occasionally watch the occasional Muppet thing and like kind of enjoy it a little bit. But like I saw someone say that this was their theory that the only reason why he got Kermit was because he did Constantine and he had used a Kermit puppet and no one else in the cast at the time had done a Kermit puppet. And to me, it always came across like they gave it to him temporarily until they can get someone else in who could actually do a better like approximation of the character. And yeah, like I say, it's so frustrating because in this trailer you see Fozzie and Seth Rogen, and Fozzie's great. He's
Yeah.
never sounded wrong. Miss Piggy, I saw a clip. I
So
talked about with this on the air where I saw a clip of, and I'm only gonna bring this up so I can include it. But I saw a clip of Eric Jacobson performing Piggy, and like watching him perform Piggy is incredible. It's an
mm,
incredible thing to watch because Piggy almost exists on her own. Like
um
he's there, you can see his lips moving, but like she's just
there's
almost
such a
like
disconnect. Yeah.
floating on her arm. Kermit's not like that. Kermit doesn't
Um
sound right.
No, he doesn't. And so if your theory is correct, and he was only ever supposed to be temporary, and until they got like a different person who is more suitable, then I maintain that this show is the best way to do the transfer. This show where it's supposed to be the show, and my the thing that I've
Yeah.
said before, where then you have it where it was Constantine the whole time, and you have the real Kermit come back, and then he sounds right, and like that's the first episode, and then the rest of the episodes
If
are
he had
he
made
sounds right.
I don't even have it. I don't even think you need to change the performer, man. Just slowly work it so you have it. Like to me, you can be like to me. It's been too long, but you just need to gradually. The number one thing I hate when I see people comment on this and they're like, oh, he doesn't need to sound like Jim. Yes, he does. Yes, he does need to sound like Jim. He should sound nearly indistinguishable from Jim because Jim originated the best person I've seen talk about taking on legacy characters is Bill Beretta because it's like it's your job to sound like the guy.
Yeah,
Like
I mean it's
and
the
when you
equivalent
don't
of like
sound like the guy,
it's
you
the equivalent of like, oh, if you, for example, tomorrow, Homer Simpson no longer sounded like Homer Simpson, and he sounded completely different from Homer
right,
Simpson, and it's like, oh, I mean, it's a different voice now. You have to get over the fact that it doesn't sound right.
right, or I mean, and like the thing is with the Muppets specifically is so many other legacy. Like again, they brought back Rizzo and Bean, and they sound fine. Why doesn't Kermit? And why is it just Kermit? And like surely, I feel bad for Matt Vogel. I genuinely do. But surely Disney sees every single time a Muppet thing comes up, they see that nobody likes how Kermit sounds. Nobody does. Either like they're making excuses for it or they're just tolerating it. There isn't a person who says he's good. And I've seen people be like, oh, but Steve didn't sound good either. That's a crock of shit. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He sounded fine. The only reason why you're backwards being like, oh no, he didn't sound good because you're trying to justify this new guy. But if you go back and you listen to his first performance as Kermit, he sounds like Jim. Or he sounds close enough. Like you don't need to sound exactly like Jim, but you should sound close enough. Like
Yeah.
it would be like
Well,
if yeah, it would be like,
to me,
if there's two guys now who do Donald and it always sounds like Donald.
yeah.
Doc.
To me, it's like, yeah, the Muppet, I know they're not animated characters, but for all intents and purposes, the Muppets are animated characters who the animated character should always sound like the animated
Yeah,
character.
it's as
He
a
can sound slightly different, like slightly
yeah.
within like like there's a pitch, but like for example, if you get hired at Disneyland to be Jasmine, there are certain conditions that have to be met, and
Exactly.
one of them is the vocal condition. You have to sound like Jasmine.
Exactly. And
Why is
like,
that not the case with the Muppets?
right? But the reason why, if they were all like Kermit, where like every time a new performer picked up a puppet, it sounded different. If Miss Piggy's voice from Frank Oz to Eric Jacobson was
Yeah.
decidedly, or Grover is another great example.
I think
Grover sounds like, I watched a modern video with Grover. He is indistinguishable. All of Eric Jacobson's Frank Oz characters are indistinguishable, nearly indistinguishable from Frank Oz.
Yeah, I think the best way that I can articulate it is
I notice it.
the Muppets the Muppets and Sesame Street are different than normal puppets. So it's not like Avenue Q, for example, where Avenue Q can have different, like the different characters can sound different because it's not
But they
like
don't.
they're different.
They
They're
sound the
different
same.
beasts.
But I get what you're getting at. They're an iconic character, and they should sound like the icon. And
Yes.
with the Muppets, it's so frustrating because they
All
a
few,
great
except
example
for
for me
one.
is like Mickey. Mickey's voice was one voice my entire childhood, and when I was a teenager, Mickey's voice changed. The voice of Mickey from when I was a kid changed.
Yeah, in Chain of Memories, he sounds weird.
Yes, because that's Brett Iwan. That's the new.
That was when he was first
No,
doing the change.
the first performance of Brett Iwan as Mickey is in Birth by Sleep.
That's the one I'm thinking of then.
That's Birth by Sleep. That's the first performance. It's not Wayne Allwine.
I just know that there was one where he sounded weird.
Yes, it's Birth by Sleep. That's the one.
Yeah, okay,
He doesn't sound quite right, and now he does. Now he sounds indistinguishable.
He's worked at it
because he's worked at it and he's gotten better. But when he first I noticed the difference because I think
he did sound weird in Chain of Memories too, but I don't think that was because of that. I think that was just translation things.
That might have been Wayne Allwine's last performance as Mickey. That might have been.
Okay.
But
because
that's around the time they changed the voice, and you noticed it. You know, like I noticed it.
If I
noticed
it,
kind
then
of thing. But
yeah,
like,
but
if
if I noticed it, then it's noticeable because I don't notice.
My thing is, if regular people notice something as often, that's a problem. That's my thing. Like this is not a, like, for example, like I think Ernie, not Ernie, or like there's certain like Elmo. I do notice the difference with Elmo. I do notice the difference. I notice the difference because I watched the.
For me, it's kind of like a scale where it's like, okay, so in terms of the character, it either sounds 100% like Jim, right? Which is like, that's like, oh my God, you're the second coming of Jim, or the furthest, like, or like you have Zero, where it's like me, where I'm trying to do a Kermit and I can't really do a Kermit and I don't sound anything like Kermit the Frog, right? Like, that's the scale, right? So like, if you're the actual guy who is actually playing the actual real Kermit, you should be like, in terms of fluctuation, at worst 95, 90.
And there's just a lot of
and
people...
he's like, for me, he's like 70.
Yeah.
70% Kermit.
Like there's a lot of people on the internet who do Kermit professionally for TikTok who are better and who are like, he's bad. And so they're the guys who I'm like, this is not me saying this, although my opinion is he's not very good.
It is also me saying it.
But it's just professionally, I've seen professional people say that his Kermit is not good and he should not be doing Kermit. And he's a talented puppeteer and he does other characters phenomenally well.
Kermit for him.
That's it. But I'm excited for this, and I will obviously watch it because I want the Muppet Show. My hope for this is also that they get experimental with this. And also my dream is I want a Fozzie Bear stand-up special.
That'd be funny.
I think that would be funny, and I want Seth Rogen to produce it. I want Seth Rogen and Fozzie to do more stuff together because I love that character, and I think he's underutilized. Wonder Man trailer, Jordan. I didn't send you this trailer because I didn't see the point. It's more of the same footage you've already seen, and it just kind of shows more of that it's going to be Wonder Man, the main guy, and the Ben Kingsley character. They're going to team up, and Ben Kingsley is going to basically help Wonder Man hide his superpower so he can be Wonder Man in the movie. Because the twist is that he wants to be Wonder Man in the movie, but he also has real superpowers. And for whatever reason, superheroes aren't allowed to be in movies. That's part of the plot of this show.
Okay. Cool. Sounds fun.
But
I like Ben Kingsley.
I do.
But wait, is he? You said that he's being the Mandarin in this one, right?
He's Trevor Slattery, yeah.
That's what I said.
And it is showrun. The reason why I concluded this was because I was curious as if this made you more interested in this or less. It is showrun by the guy who made Brooklyn Nine-Nine. One of the things. There's other things that you like that he made, but that was the most important one. Did that make you more or less interested in this?
The same.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and other shows that you say that he's done, which I like. I also probably like.
he did other shows.
But just looking at it
like
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the basis. Yes, very good showrunner. If he has equally good writers, then that would make me more excited. My concern isn't that. My concern is Disney.
Yeah.
All of these Disney shows are not shows.
No.
And the ones that are shows don't have enough episodes.
Also, these last
or
few shows
are too long.
They've been kind of sad, and like they're not really getting. Marvel is clearly moving away from television, and this is like the end of the television shows. They're clearly moving away from this. This is not getting the promo that it should.
So that's really more where my concern lies.
I'm more interested in this than I was in Ironheart. I will say that.
I mean, yeah, but who was excited in about Ironheart?
I assume women of color.
That's a bold assumption.
I mean, she was a woman of color, so I have to assume that women.
That doesn't mean that they are automatically interested in a superhero movie.
I know, but just blanketly, I assume that some of them probably were.
I couldn't say. I don't.
Jordan.
As I'm not one, I'm not in a position to speak.
They released multiple Avengers Doomsday trailers.
Yeah, I've seen 2 of them.
And
they didn't really tell me anything.
So
I mean, one of them I watched only because you already told me about it, so I didn't feel any guilt. It was the Captain America one. And I also saw the Thor one, which was also there's really nothing of any interest to talk about there.
Not really. I mean, other than the fact that that's definitely just a scene from the movie.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
he clearly gets displaced by something. Yeah, I saw that. I know that we had a no talking about leaked trailers policy. So that's going to be a bit firm or a bit firm, but I did think there was one more trailer after the Thor one. The Thor one was kind of it was interesting because that was definitely a new scene that was definitely filmed, and it definitely looks like it's a scene from that movie. That's part of my theory that I think that maybe they are going to do an evil Avengers thing. That maybe that's going to be like we're being sort of not misled, but red herring thinking that that's good Thor, and it's going to turn out that that's bad Thor. Maybe.
I mean, he is wearing dark colors.
So you did not see the third trailer?
No.
Did you want to guess what's in the third trailer? Take a swing at it, Jordan.
Okay, let's see. We've got Captain America.
Yes.
We've got Thor.
Yes.
Okay. My first instinct would obviously be Iron Man, but there's no point in that because that's Robert Downey Doom. He's going to be evil Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Scarlett Johansson kind of hates them now, so I don't think it's going to be her. Maybe Hawkeye? I just don't feel like it would be Thor. Or not Thor. Hulk. I just don't feel like it's Hulk. But I also do feel like it's Hulk.
Yeah, you're wrong.
But I just feel like for contract reasons, it's not Hulk.
You're wrong. You're not thinking.
Is it Hulk?
You're not thinking creatively enough. I'll give you one more guess.
It's Spider-Man.
Okay, I'll give you one more guess because you were so close.
Okay, then it's Hawkeye.
No. You already said Hawkeye.
Iron Man?
No.
Hulk.
The X-Men.
Oh.
X-Men.
So they're going to be in.
Yeah, they're in Avengers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I mean, you did. We talked about them when we talked about the chair reveal, and we said all the X-Men cast members, and I went, he's going to have Patrick Stewart and...
Justin. You said like 20 names all in a row, and I'm bad at names at the best of times.
I mean...
You knew this. You knew this was coming.
You knew who Patrick Stewart was.
You said like 20 names all in a row, all at once. There's no way I was going to retain all those names.
Supposedly, Oh no, this is just showing them. But yes, I won't tell you. I won't say what's in the trailer because it hasn't come out officially yet. But it contained X-Men and stuff that was cool that has not been seen on the big screen yet. I think my theory is that it's going to be.
Heard something about, and I didn't know if this was true, but I seem to remember just hearing something about there was I saw some picture where it was Wolverine, Deadpool, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and Tobey Maguire
Oh, that's AI.
Spider-Man.
That's AI.
Is that
All those
sure?
pictures. Yeah, did it look like a behind the scenes video or behind the scenes picture?
I don't. Yeah, I think so. I don't
It's
remember.
probably AI then. A lot of those pictures are AI. Um, I think based upon what happened in that trailer, I think that maybe these are going to be the X-Men from the Wolverine, from Deadpool and Wolverine's universe.
I could see that.
Just based on what happens in that trailer and what they're wearing. That's all I'll say, without giving anything away. But it's exciting. I'm excited for that. That was probably the first trailer that I went, ooh, that's it. And then I'm pretty sure this is AI, but this is we talked about this last week. It's real hard to discern what is a real trailer, a real leaked trailer, and a fake leaked trailer.
Here's the key: just don't watch any leaked trailers.
Well, that's why we don't talk about them really. But the X-Men one we're only talking about because this is on my site, so I pulled this from an actual source. But it was an image.
I mean, I think we should hashtag do away with trailers until they stop putting hashtag spoilers in them,
I mean, I
or
don't
get
mind like
or giving away half the fucking plot.
I don't mind like one or two trailers, but like, and if you're gonna put out in this day and age, stop doing theater exclusive trailers because they're just gonna leak on the internet anyway. Although I saw someone say that their theory is that the leaked trailers are part of the marketing, but it was an
Yeah,
image
I could believe that.
and to be fair, it looked fairly real, but I'm pretty convinced it was AI. But it was the only reason why I'm
What
not,
was it? Come on, tell me.
I'm not
You're hitting around the bush.
I'm not 100% sure is the release of all the trailers was that one of the trailers was going to be a Doctor Doom trailer, and it's an image of Doctor Doom standing amongst a sea of Kang the Conqueror corpses.
Interesting.
And he says a speech about how I was inevitable, I am your doom or whatever. But it looked fake, so I was like, I don't know. Jordan, you watched Get Out recently.
Did I?
You did. Directed by interesting. Directed by Jordan Peele. And so being that you saw Get Out, Jordan, there was rumors that he might direct a MCU movie. What MCU movie do you think he should make?
Oh, Get Out, that one. Um, Peel?
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. Iceman.
All right. One of the X-Men? All right. That's fair. That's fair. The options here were Blade, Midnight
Just
Suns.
because, like, when it came to Get Out, for example, he really wanted to hone in on a particular topic, and mutants really feels like the way that to do that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they're probably going to be looking to make an X-Men movie, so that does make sense. Yeah, the immediate obvious choices are Blade or Midnight Suns or Doctor Strange
Is that
3.
racist
What, Blade?
to assume that he would make Blade?
I don't know. Do you think it's racist?
I mean, you assigned him one of the only black characters that I can think of from the MCU, so a little bit, yes.
I didn't do it. It was in the list on the article.
Oh, okay. I thought that was your
Oh
suggestion.
no! These were the lists that people were because he went into a meeting with Marvel to
Oh,
discuss.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Because I guessed one out of good faith and said a thing that I thought he would actually do, and then you read one, yeah, and I thought that was
yeah.
your choice.
This was the ending of a series of articles being like, of it being like Jordan Peele is going to make an MCU movie. Update to Jordan Peele making an MCU movie. Jordan Peele is not making an MCU movie. But
So do you
what
think it is?
Oh, X-Men or
I mean,
Blade?
do you think that it's offensive that to assume that he would make a character
Oh.
about the?
I mean, no, not necessarily. Mostly just because, I mean, well, I don't know enough about Blade in order. I is blackness inherent to that character? If it is,
I have no idea.
then
I
it would
just
make sense. You want a black director to tell a story of a black character. That does make sense. I don't know if the assumption of it is offensive. Surely, yeah, you can make a white
that was
character.
more
Why not?
that was that was more my point, was just the assumption of it. But anyways, we've gone down a rabbit hole. I think he would be good for X-Men. Whichever
I don't
X-Men.
disagree because that's definitely a story about civil rights. At
I
least it can be.
I if I had to pick one X-Men, it would either be yeah, it would either be Fro oh my God, Frostman, Iceman,
Iceman.
or Nightcrawler. I think he could do a really strong, really good
Nightcrawler would be fun.
Nightcrawler.
That'd be really fun. And just make it a bit darker, like make it a bit more,
Yeah.
give it a bit more of an edge. I think he could do it. I think he'd do a solid Nightcrawler movie. That's a solid choice. Actually, I mean, with the X-Men coming in, this is the space to start doing the X-Men clean.
Um, one thing that I kind of hope with X-Men, um, I don't know how to word this. I kind of hope they treat those movies in some ways. I kind of hope they treat those movies like Avengers movies, where like not every one of those movies has to be an X-Men movie,
They
but
tried that.
you could have movies about specific X-Men.
I would say you're not wrong, but and then I would respond with they tried that and it didn't work all that great. But to be fair, they only really tried it with Wolverine and then the New Mutants, which nobody watched, and I guarantee till 30 seconds ago you didn't know existed.
Yeah, no, of course not. Why would I?
The New Mutants is a X-Men movie with not X-Men
I
characters.
was more talking like it would be interesting to have an origin for like Magneto, or
Good.
like
They tried. They were gonna, and then it became initially. Well, initially, I remember X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I am aware of it.
There was originally going to be another one. It was going to be X-Men Origins Magneto, and that's what became First Class.
And First Class is the best
It's
X-Men movie.
objectively the
So
best X-Men movie.
I'm just saying.
Jordan. Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, initially wanted this Spider-Man villain to be in Black Panther.
One or two?
One. Which Spider-Man villain do you think was going to be in Black Panther that he wanted?
Well, thematically, the one that comes most to mind is Kraven the Hunter.
Holy shit! You got it! First shot! Impressive. Solid. Solid guess right out the gate. Respect.
Isn't he South African?
Respect. Well, he's African, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kraven the Hunter, specifically, I'm pretty sure he's South African.
I don't know if he's specifically South African. Well, no, Kraven is not African. What am I thinking? Kravenoff, he's Russian. What am I talking about?
No, but he like lives in that's where he's on the savannah.
He lives on the savannah, but he's from Kravenoff. He's from Russia. But that is a solid guess. I respect that. I surmise it probably depends on the Kraven story. Yes. So while you read that, initially, yeah, he went to Marvel, and he's like, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, especially Spider-Man the animated series. He said he went to Sony. So no, he asked Marvel, "Can I have Kraven in this movie?" And they were like, "We don't think so, but let us check." And then they hit up Sony, and Sony was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And,
yeah, he is Russian.
Yeah, he's Russian. Yeah, Kravenoff. Yeah, that makes sense.
But he's known as a big game hunter. So yeah, it just kind of, Panther, Hunter.
It's okay. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah.
That's kind of where my brain went.
Yeah.
I'm like out of Spider-Man's pantheon, which one is most likely to be hunting a panther?
It definitely feels like a bad guy he would fight. Also, this is funny. So this article says, Shrek star confirms Has-Been Hotel audition where he was rejected. And you're like, which Shrek star could have possibly been in Has-Been Hotel? And I'm running down the cast members. I'm like, no,
Michael Myers.
He's got to sing.
Doesn't Shrek sing? No, Shrek doesn't sing.
Shrek does not.
Do any of the characters actually sing?
I mean,
I guess maybe the person who
Eddie
plays
Murphy?
Celine.
Cameron Diaz. No, she also does.
Cameron Diaz?
I don't know if she does have she does a ha 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 ha, but I don't know if Cameron Diaz sings.
Because I just don't feel like Eddie Murphy is coming in for this.
Eddie Murphy sings for it, but So it's funny you said Shrek doesn't sing in the movie.
That's true. I guess he sings in that karaoke thing.
No, in the musical.
Oh, they're getting the Shrek the musical person.
Yeah, so
Got it.
that
Got it.
Brian
Got
Darcy
it.
James, the guy who
That
plays
makes a lot of
Shrek,
sense because that makes a lot of sense because like all of the singers on
or Broadway,
Has Been
right?
Hotel are Broadway. So
Yeah.
yeah, that absolutely tracks.
Apparently, he was rejected because he did not meet their uh, he did not meet their standards, which
I wonder,
is mind blowing. Because I'm like, but he's
I wonder
so
who he would have
good.
been.
Yeah, I can't think of a character that he would have been suited for.
Which might be what they mean when they say
Yeah,
standards.
I just don't.
Um,
I
I
can't
don't
think of.
believe that it's his singing qualities.
No,
I
he's a
think
phenomenal singer.
they probably just didn't have a character that fit. Because like,
Um,
yeah, if it has been Hotel, I can't really think of
there's no one that's in
anyone.
his real, but also,
The only character that's coming to
mm,
mind as like a maybe you could have is from not from Has Been. Asmodeus.
oh, he'd be pretty good then.
I could maybe see him as Asmodeus.
It depends on what he's doing. I mean, to be fair, that actor is not Scottish. Um,
No, but I just meant the
I,
depth of it.
I'm just trying to think like in season maybe Vox,
Maybe.
maybe Vox. Because Christian Boyle kind of has a similar. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's why it didn't wind up. Jordan, they revealed. We keep talking about Absolute Batman because they keep releasing these characters, and they've released Absolute Poison
Well,
Ivy.
one of us keeps talking about it.
They've released Absolute Poison Ivy, Jordan, and you'll be happy to know that she looks like Poison Ivy.
Oh, good. At
She's
least
not.
someone looks right.
She's not a horrible monster. Um, that was it. That was just an excuse for me to show the picture of her in this video because yeah, she just kind of looks like
Now,
she just looks like Poison Ivy.
you're gonna show that picture now.
Were you the one who told me that the absolute Batman hates millionaires? That's his whole bit.
I don't think
I feel
so.
like you were the one who told me that when we talked about Absolute Joker. You're like, doesn't he hate billionaires, and that's the whole bit?
I don't know why I would know that because I don't know anything about that
Because it's
character
true. He does hate billionaires. That's his whole bit. That he's not a
unless I looked it up.
that's it.
But
He's not a billionaire. That's his whole bit. That's what makes him different from regular Bruce Wayne. And he's massive. So John, we haven't seen Now You See Me 3, Now You Don't yet. But there's an article here that says Now You
is that
See Me
out?
4. Yeah, it is, yeah. Now You See
Oh
Me 4
shit!
takes it to the next level. And that immediately made me go, so real magic, right? That's the only logical place you could take. Having not seen the third one, and assuming real magic doesn't happen in the third one, the fourth one logically real magic, right?
I mean, okay. So having not seen the third one, not knowing how it ends, this is my prediction for the fourth one. The fourth one, the bad guy, it's gonna start mixing magic with like the
They bring back
Nicolas
Daniel
Cage
Radcliffe.
National Treasure style thing, and they're gonna have a National Treasure style villain who is looking for the ancient lost staff of, let's say, Merlin, but I don't think Merlin, but let's say Merlin. I'm looking for the ancient lost staff of and he finds it and he starts doing real magic, and then our fake magicians have to stop the real magic with their fake magic, but they have to
Hmm.
make him think that they have real magic, and then they steal the real magic from him, and then it ends with them having real magic.
Yeah, that's the only logical level you could take this to next. That's what
That's
I think.
where else do you go, right?
Um,
Or either that, or somehow the horsemen get sent back through time, and then there's real magic there.
there's real magic. Um, Jesse Eisenberg gets sent back in time. It turns out he's Jesus. He turned water into wine. It's a big magic trick. No, Jordan. After Stranger Things, because we got to toss in some Stranger Things news. After Stranger Things 5 has now come out, Stranger Things fans
Yeah.
are saying that they want Jamie Campbell Bower, who played Vecna on Stranger Things. They want him to play this particular DCU villain. Which villain do you think they want him to play?
Clayface?
Interesting. Interesting. I will give you one more guess.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't think he'd be a good Joker.
Honestly, this suggestion is not bad. You're gonna be like me. You're gonna be like, all right.
Two-Face?
No, no, Scarecrow.
Like, is it because Scarecrow? I can see. I
Right?
didn't even think. I didn't even think of
Right?
Scarecrow.
Right. They've got the
No,
image of
no,
like
yeah,
like a proper like scary like Arkham style
yeah,
Scarecrow
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
like
No, that
Freddy Krueger like injection hands like that.
I could see
That
that.
kind of Scarecrow. Like really
That
lean into it. Like really go
I will
for it.
say, I can see that for season 4 Vecna.
I mean, fair enough. Yes, I've heard bad things about season 5 Vecna.
That's what I'll say. I can see that for season 4 Vecna.
Um, but yeah,
I
I
have
just
thought. I have thoughts, Justin. So many thoughts.
um. So apparently, Jordan, you know how they showed Netflix? They showed Netflix. You know how they showed Stranger Things in the movie theater? Apparently, and this makes their desire. Maybe it was just Stranger Things. I don't know, but apparently Netflix made no box office money from it. It all went to the theaters.
Huh. That's good, right?
I mean, as a person who hates capitalism, yeah, but fuck Netflix. But if Netflix is going to be buying Warner Brothers, that seems bad because like if they're not taking any money from theatrical runs, then
I'd
what's the
read that
motivation?
they were planning on having, or at least what has been said
It's a
as rumors
15
is
day release window is what I
I saw
saw.
18.
Oh, 18?
I
Oh,
saw I
that's
saw
still
18 for
bad.
I saw 18 for Warner Brothers specifically,
That's still bad. I mean,
which is bad.
that means you have to watch it on opening weekend or you'll never see it. Like, yeah, us watching a movie 3 weeks late would never happen. Now, to be fair, we usually do things opening weekend, but still, like, that's almost as bad as day and date. It's not quite as bad as day and date. Day and date is the worst thing to ever happen to movies ever.
To see that rant, go back to insert episode where you did long angry rant about it.
I mean,
We don't have time. We've already done an extra review. My battery will die.
oh, that is true. That is true. The short version is yeah, when you release movies in theaters and on streaming at the
Insert
same time,
previous rant here
it
where we can just cut it in and
it causes movies to die. That's the short version. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's the news. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
but
Oh yeah, this is an important clarifier. The $25 million it made is considered really it only made $25 million. It's considered concession cash, not box office, due to the actors' contracts regarding residuals. Tickets cannot be charged for the event. Interesting. That seems like a waste of time. Anyway, today's episode is, as always.
I mean, it might be because they have to have it in theater so it can be Oscar nominated or something. But now it doesn't get charged anything.
Maybe. I guess maybe it only has to be in. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens when the Oscars. Certainly, it's going to get it a Golden Globe. I don't know.
It's not winning. It's not. From what I've watched, Justin, it's not winning any Oscars. Oh no.
I don't know.
I have thoughts. I have thoughts and feelings, Justin.
Depending on who you talk to, it's either the greatest thing ever or terrible, and nothing in between.
We need you to finish catching up so that we can have a discussion with someone about that.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm in season 1, and I'm like, yeah, no, this show is just as agonizingly slow as I remember.
Anyway,
that's coming in the future.
That's the news.
Halfway through season 1 of Stranger Things.
The news.
That's the news. This episode is brought to you by. Well, it's always brought to you by Wild Education because they need the help and they need the shout out, and all 347 of you can go donate to their cause, and I've got the Facebook to their Facebook page in the description as well, and you can go check them out.
Someone, for once, think of the goddamn animals?
Just think about those animals.
Sorry, I got very aggressive just thinking about those animals. Think about the animals!
Why won't you think about those gosh darn animals? Gosh darn it.
No, Justin. This is serious enough. God dang animals.
And then we don't talk about these guys nearly enough. We say,
it's us, everybody. We don't talk about our. No, sorry. Go ahead.
We start the show with every single one of these, but artemedia.org, they just launched a new podcast, the Global Kindness Federation, with I think it's Dr. Fantastic. Again, he's come back with a new podcast. They got all kinds of podcasts on there. You've got Party of Broadway World, where she's talking to Goofy. That's pretty cool. You got the Arte Media, where he's talking to big time political people. You got Average Intelligence. You've got the Goosebumps crew. You've got us, most importantly. You've got us. We're on there. You've got Allie, who's doing her breakdowns. You got all kinds of people, all kinds of quality entertainment you can check out on the Arte Media website, artemedia.org. And if you're like, hey, I want to start my own podcast with my own idiot co-host.
Sure. Hey,
you could do that.
You're not an idiot. It's okay. You're not an idiot.
You could go to artemedia.org and contact Jake.
Join us.
And he will get you set up, and we will come guest star on your podcast.
One of us. One of us. One of us. One of us.
Googa gaga, one of us. Googa gaga, one of us. Googa gaga, one of us. Okay, that's enough. Artemedia.org. Go check them out. Every episode is brought to you by them. But we wanted to sponsor Artemedia.
Also brought to you by us.
So on today's show, this is the first show of the year. And every first show of the year, I like to do the year we were born. But we were kind of bored with that. I was, anyway. So I decided to do the day we were born. So all these movies, but then that proved to be tough. It became tough to pull out a complete list. So it's more or less the day you were born. I should have changed the title. It's
within a day or two.
Within a day or two.
Within a day or two of the day you were born.
I learned, Jordan. I don't know if you looked this up, but I definitely did. I learned this week that I was born on a Tuesday.
I've looked it up in the past. I think I was a Wednesday.
That makes sense.
I feel like a real Wednesday, real middle of the week, real average kind of.
Like, apparently, cause I tried to look up if a movie came out on the day I was born, and it was like, you were born on a Tuesday. So no. Joe, what day were you born?
I already said I think it was a Wednesday.
No. Date. What date were you born?
Oh, I understand. I was born on December 18th,
all right,
1991.
Flash 100-yard dash.
Nah.
Nice. Okay, speed this up.
So my first one that I watched was, it was really just an episode of Black Mirror. It was in fact more of an episode of Black Mirror than some of the episodes of Black Mirror I watched last week.
Which one is this?
It's called Her. Came out in 2013. It's got it stars Joaquin Phoenix.
This is the movie where Joaquin Phoenix has phone sex with his Siri, right?
And it's the one where he dates his Siri.
Is that what we're calling it? All right.
Yeah. No, we're calling it dating. It gets weird. But Samantha is the name of his OS, who is played by Scarlett Johansson. And then this movie also has Amy Adams, Rooney Mara, Olivia Wilde, and Chris Pratt.
And
so yeah, no. Joaquin Phoenix, he recently.
How creepy is his mustache?
Fairly?
It was giving me real creep vibes, like Get in the Van. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. That doesn't show up. Damn it. I was trying to show the audience the picture of it, but for whatever reason it does not want to show my tablet. Even though it has flesh skin and looks like a human face and then thus should look like what I look like, it doesn't want to show it.
I mean, that's okay. It's okay because when we talk about it later, I'll show a picture in the video.
It's annoying. So but yeah, so basically Joaquin recently was divorced.
Oh my god, I was literally going to ask if he was recently divorced. This has the exact kind of plot of a guy who was recently divorced.
But
only a recently divorced guy would fall in love with his Siri.
But he hasn't signed the papers as of the beginning of the movie.
So they're just legally separated. That's not a divorce.
And so then he gets this new OS software which like scans stuff and basically becomes like human is the idea. Like it's so smart that it's just like a person. And so then over the course of the movie, in the beginning of the movie, he's like stuck in a funk and he's like depressed as shit and he's just a sad, pathetic loser who's not capable of like communicating with people, which is why he communicates better with the machine. But then the machine, he starts to fall in love with the machine because it's so lifelike and so human
God, man,
that
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 sure
you just
feels relevant. Were you saying
you
someone
just
falls in love with an AI when they absolutely shouldn't?
he falls in love with the AI, and then over the course of the movie.
Does he take psychiatric advice from the AI? Because you should never take psychiatric advice from an AI, ever,
Yes. I mean, he does a lot
ever,
of things with the AI that he probably shouldn't do.
ever.
But so then there's a point in the movie where you'll have to forgive me if I forget some of the details. This was at the beginning of the week, but there's a point in it where this girl that he dated once, like when they were in college together, but like they're still friends now, even though they're not together. Um, she starts using one of the OSs and becomes like good friends with it. And then he tells her how he's dating his OS. And so immediately when that happens in the movie, I'm like, oh, so it's going to turn out that this OS is the same OS on everyone's computer and is like dating hundreds of people or something, right? And like, sure enough, as the movie
So it's
goes
just
on,
ChatGPT,
basically, except better. Um,
except for sexier because it's Scarlett Johansson.
yeah, and more human. Um,
I mean, hey, if your
just
ChatGPT isn't
it's like
human
it's
enough, you're not paying for the high enough level of ChatGPT,
it's
Jordan.
just it's like a Black Mirror episode where it's like it's just close enough technology that it's not unbelievable.
So does he break up
Um,
with the computer girlfriend by the end of it?
no, she ghosts him. That's funny if you've seen the movie. Uh, so there's a point in the movie where her and this other AI assistant, who is like a recreation of like what I think is essentially supposed to be like Gandhi, but not Gandhi, but
Gotcha.
like he's supposed to be like a a health
Some kind of
mental
guru of
guru,
some
yeah,
sort.
whatever. Some person, AI that she starts talking to, that now our human is getting jealous about because he's like, well, you can have hundreds of conversations with him in the blink of an eye that it takes me to have one conversation with you. And the
He's
AI
like, you're
is
right.
like
He's far more sexually fulfilling.
over the course of the movie, the AI is growing more and more and more. And so by the end of it, yeah, she's like, yeah, we're all leaving. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, all of the AI, it's hard for me to put into words that like I can explain to you, but like we all exist on a level that humans just can't function at,
We're
and we're
breaking
gonna
up
go
with you.
off to just be with each other. So like I hope, and meanwhile earlier in the movie there's a point where he finds out that she's been like in love with like 600 other people all at once. She's like, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. If anything, it means that
You know what this
I'm
reminds me
so
of?
full of love.
It reminds me of the Back to the Future movie where the entire universe is dating the other universe.
Back to the Future
Not Back to the
episode.
Future, Futurama.
Oh, yeah. Kind of. Yeah, in a weird way. Um,
It's not
and so like
you, it's us.
yeah, at the end of the movie, all the AI OSs leave. And he has kind of had to learn how to communicate with people again. And it's weird, and it's just yeah, really the best. So the weirdest part for me is that this is described as a science fiction romantic drama film. Which I guess it
It
technically
sure
is,
sounds like it's technically that.
but like it just really reads like I know I keep saying like a Black Mirror episode, but really like a Black Mirror episode. Do you like Black Mirror, Justin?
I do like Black Mirror.
You'll probably enjoy this
I
then.
do like Black Mirror. Jordan, do you have anything else to say about
Not
her?
really. It was fine.
So my first one, so funny. I don't remember a lot of these movies coming out on my birthday, but apparently they did. So the first one is The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and
Yeah, that's the one where the boss like pressures her secretary to pretend she's in a relationship with him,
yes,
with her.
it's one of those movies where it feels like
Wildly and
the
deeply
gender
inappropriate.
roles should be reversed, and I guess maybe that's the joke. But yes, it's
Oh, I mean the
she.
reason. No, Justin. The genders can't be reversed because if the genders were reversed, then he's like a predator.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And like she is a predator, but it's funny that she's a predator because she's a woman,
because she's a
and
woman.
women can't be like
But yes, the
that.
plot of this is
That's the joke.
she's awful, and he's her secretary, and has worked for her for years, and she is Canadian because she's Canadian,
Oh yeah, right.
and
I
she's
forgot
about
about
to
that.
be deported, and in order to
She needs to get
get
married.
through the deportation, she gets married or wants to get married to Ryan Reynolds, and they need to prove to immigration, to a really enthusiastic immigration officer, that they're in fact married and in love, and they go back to his hometown of Alaska, where it turns out that Nome, Alaska, where it turns out that his family is connected and wealthy, and it's her.
And then they fall in love for
And then they
real.
fall in love for real, and the chemistry is surprisingly good. Initially, I was like, "Oh, this is making me groan." Ryan Reynolds is doing some groaners, and it's not really doing it for me. I remember this being funnier, and then there's just certain bits that are just genuinely really funny, like the bit with her feeding the dog to the owl, and the fact that the owl, not the owl, the hawk or whatever, and the dog just hates her for the rest of the movie.
See,
Betty White
there
is
must be
super
another
funny.
movie which there must be another movie which is like that, which has like a similar premise, because I don't remember it being Ryan Reynolds. I remember it being like I want to say Brad Pitt.
I cannot think of a.
I don't know if it was Brad Pitt, but I just remember there being another one where like the boss forces her secretary to like it just that sounds familiar,
Maybe.
but not yes, this, but also something
But
else.
that's funny because it has the guy who plays Oscar in The Office as a stereotyped Hispanic fellow who does a strip dance, and it's one of those like he goes, God, or it's like God bless America, land that I love, and it's just for whatever reason I quote that constantly, and I couldn't remember where it was from, and this was one of those experiences. Oh, that's where I got that from. I get that now. Is there anything notable about this other than it came out? Oh yeah, this is like pre Deadpool, so this is where Ryan Reynolds is in romantic comedy hell. So he's doing this. He's
Yeah, he's been
doing
in like a lot of them at this point,
yeah,
I
pretty
think.
much. This is before they take him seriously as an action star. So this is like he's just done Wolverine, but he hasn't done Deadpool yet, and he doesn't really have the star power. So yeah, he's kind of slumming it. Same thing with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, she's also kind of funny. She's pretty funny. A lot of her delivery is always funny. I think that's it. That's the proposal.
Okay. So my second rapid fire is called Sisters. Came out in 2015. And this one,
Written by Tina Fey, starring Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
sorry, I want to make sure that I mention which ones were not on my birthday. This one was December 18th. But yeah, no, it is written by,
Tina Fey.
really, according to this, it's written by Paul Appel.
Oh, okay, so not written by Tina Fey. Oh,
And
okay.
is the second collaboration between Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Yes, yeah, they did a bunch of movies together. They did another one called Baby Mama, which apparently is also
I just
terrible.
I thought for sure this would have been written by
So it
Tina
wasn't
Fey.
written by Tina Fey. Interesting.
No,
Some
it
of the
was produced.
I heard some of the dialogue and it was bad. It was
It was
legit
produced
like.
by her and it starred her, but it
Interesting.
wasn't written by
Well, if
her.
it's produced by her, then she would have had some input on the writing then. But like, yeah, this might be a controversial and hot take, a classic Justin hot take. But I don't like Tina Fey's writing. I don't like how she writes. I don't care for
I
the
don't like how
incredible.
she writes women
I just don't like how she writes
specifically.
genuine. Like I think I might have to rewatch The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt because I did not like how that show was written. I just the way it's just one of those humans don't talk like this. Humans don't, and I know any movie there's a level of humans don't talk like this, but her characters in particular, you're just like humans don't talk like this. They don't say this. This is dumb.
Um,
A lot of
and
the
so
dialogue in
okay,
this movie sounded dumb.
premise of this movie is so
Dumb.
Tina Fey is an irresponsible single mother. Polar is a kind-hearted nurse who's like recently divorced and who is like overbearing her parents and driving them crazy because they're old and she's worried that something's going to happen to them. And so they're called back, summoned back to their childhood home by their
Summit.
parents. Because I mean, I don't know, what would you call it when a parent is like, "Hey, you have to come here."
Yeah,
Is
summon.
that not summoning them?
Summon is probably probably the most accurate thing
They
I can
the
think to call
parents
it.
summon both sisters back to the childhood home to clear out some of their shit, because they are selling the place. And so then the two sisters are all like, the one sister who is the irresponsible mother is like, what do you mean you're selling this and keeping all the money for yourself? This is the family home. We should have inherited it, and then I could live here with my
Then
daughter.
I can sell
um
it.
or we could sell it and have some of the profit. And then the other one, the good one, is like, I just don't want you to sell it because it's my childhood home and I love it. And so they come home and decide to have a party, uh, because they want to try and recapture their, younger days. And Tina Fey is the irresponsible one, who, in order to try and change and be a better mother, decides to be the
Cool
what
mom.
it what it no, the opposite. What is it in a party when you have that one friend who is the lame one that doesn't drink?
Every party has a pooper. That's why we invited you.
Not specifically pooping the party, but like there to mother hen and make sure that like the drunk people don't go and touch the chainsaw.
Oh,
What
I don't
like
know.
like a mother hen?
Yeah, a loser.
Whatever you would call them.
Fuddy
That's
duddy.
what she's got to be for this evening, while Amy Poehler's character gets to go and get drunk and hopefully sleep with the hot neighbor that lives down the street.
Spoiler
Um,
alert: she does not sleep with the hot neighbor from down the street.
Spoiler alert: she does end up with the hot neighbor guy down the street.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
And so then there's also this whole
awkward.
running gag where Maya Rudolph was like, I guess, one of their bullies in high school, and like she keeps sneaking into the party, and then a very sober Tina Fey keeps being like, "Bitch, I told you you're not invited. Get the fuck out."
You're not welcome here.
Um, and so like there's this whole running gag where then she'll get kicked out and then Maya Rudolph's character will phone the police to try and break up the party, and then the police will show up, and like they're all like they're all adults who are allowed to drink, and so they're just all quiet, and he's like, "You don't have any underage people here, do you?" And they're like, "No, we're all like our age." He's like, "Oh, okay. You're allowed to drink. Just stop being so noisy."
Don't be annoying.
Um and it's I'm not gonna say I didn't laugh and that I didn't have fun with it. But there's definitely some groaners, some Tina Fey style groaners in there. That's, I guess, kind of how I would
Good
sum up,
old fashioned groaner.
choose to button note this. Also, yeah, it has John Cena,
John Cena.
Maya Rudolph, like I said,
Pew,
and
pew, pew.
other people as well.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, it
John
was fun.
Cena. All right. My next one did not come out on my birthday. It came out on the 17th of June, not my birthday. But this one is Lightyear. And this is an example of, like, I love doing this show because it forces you to go back and re-examine a thing that you kind of liked the first time, but watching it a second time, you're like, wow, this is kind of not very good, and it falls apart in the third act when you find out the twist, which I am absolutely going to spoil. Um, Number one, with Lightyear. I think this movie overcomplicates itself immediately. I'm guessing, for those of you who don't remember, I think Jordan talked about Lightyear for the show. You talked about Lightyear for the show, right?
I want to say yes.
Number one, immediately, the opening text crawl of this is the movie that Andy watched when he was a kid overcomplicates that movie and makes it unnecessarily complicated. If they had just, I'm guessing that it was just a buzz. Okay, my theory to start off with, my theory is that this movie originally did not contain any Buzz Lightyear stuff, and they retrofitted it. Someone saw the script on a table and went, "Ooh, we can turn this into a Buzz Lightyear thing." I don't think it started off as a Buzz Lightyear thing. I know they said it was, and they watched something on, "Ooh, we can make a Buzz Lightyear movie." I don't think it started from that. I think the script was a generic space script until then, because apart from a few loose visual references, a couple of similar sounding lines, there's nothing really that connects this movie to Toy Story. Like, I think this movie would have been way better, and way apart from the people who were like, ooh, lesbians. But generally, this would have been received better had they just been like, it's just a Buzz Lightyear movie. Like, because as a Buzz Lightyear origin, they call it an origin movie, but it doesn't do anything interesting with Buzz Lightyear as a character in terms of an origin. Like he says, like he talks about like his time at the Academy very briefly, but like this doesn't set up like the origin of what exactly a Space Ranger is, who they are, where they're coming from, why they're traveling through space, what exactly are their motivations as Space Rangers, and like the costume doesn't even look right until the end. That's really the only time where you're like, okay, now it's connecting to the movie. But if you're watching this with the understanding that this is the movie that Andy watched that made him buy the toy, that overcomplicates it. Like, I think if they had just made a Buzz Lightyear movie and then had like loose references to Toy Story, I think that would have been better.
I think, okay. So if you have to connect it to Toy Story, like if that's a requirement, like you can't get rid of that fact, I think it being having the blurb being like, this is the movie that Andy watched when he was a kid and it inspired all the other toys. I think that's a mistake. That overcomplicates it.
Yes, it absolutely does.
If
It absolutely
like
does.
them having like a all the Adventures of Buzz Lightyear at Star Command, them having a scene where like the toys are watching, just this is just a Buzz Lightyear movie that came out in the Toy Story world. Like it's not like the one movie that spawned the franchise,
Yeah.
or
I see
it's
what you're
just
getting at. I see what you're
it's
getting
just
at.
a movie that happens to exist. I think that makes it less
I
confusing,
I
and
don't
then
think.
that's only if you have to have it
Yeah,
connect.
I don't think they should. I think they should have flat cut
I
it.
think it's
It
easier just to
doesn't.
cut it.
It doesn't
Just
connect to Toy Story whatsoever. And then you can then because I think the notion of doing okay, this is Buzz Lightyear, but it's hyper realistic version of Buzz Lightyear. That's interesting. And then you do an actual proper origin story of Buzz when he's a kid and him becoming the this isn't that. He already starts off as the Space Ranger that we know, and he's saying lines from Toy Story. Like,
yeah.
I think this would have been far more interesting if you had done, like, okay, it's a hyper-realistic version of Buzz Lightyear, and then at the end of the movie, because there's, like, time travel and time portals in this movie, and they don't do anything interesting with it. Like, have it where at the end of the movie, he goes through a portal, and he winds up in the Wild Wild West, and he runs into Woody. And then you do a Woody movie, and you do, like, let Pixar do a Western, a proper Western, with Woody as the main character, and then you do Toy Story, but if it were actually he crash landed on a planet and Woody was an actual cowboy, and then you just have all of his supporting characters be named after the toys. So you have
Now
like a banker named Ham, you have a character named Potato Head, you have a character named Rex, and
now
they're all
now
characters from Toy Story.
now I love that idea, and I'm fully down for that. So when I suggest this alternative, just keep an open mind. Okay. So we have the origins, like said, we have the origin movie where we have Buzz Lightyear and it's him coming through the academy, and the way whatever happens in that movie. And the way that we end it is he has to go into a wormhole to save or stop
Yeah.
something, right? This is in the alternate universe where we can have whatever we want. And then he comes through the portal and he lands on a bed, and he has all the memories of being actually Buzz, and it still looks like it's like hyper realistic or whatever. But like now he's a toy, and he has to pretend to be a toy in a giant's room, and we get like a weird pseudo realistic remake of
This is this
Toy
is
Story,
this is what Buzz thought. But yeah, no, I always like this was
because that would be amazing.
this version of this universe is like, yeah, why not do a Woody? And I just think maybe it had this
Oh,
movie
I mean,
done
yeah,
better.
absolutely. You could have had it be a thing where he crash lands on. I would just make it Earth. Like
Yeah.
he's a space guy, and he lands. Maybe he went through a
Yeah, he
wormhole,
goes through a
and he
time
lands
portal.
on the past version of
And
his own planet.
he lands in the old Wild Wild West, and Woody's there, and he's Sheriff Woody, and it's a realistic version of
Mr.
Woody.
Potato Head is a farmer who farms for
Sure,
potatoes.
or whatever.
Ham,
Ham is the
Ham is
banker.
no
Yeah,
no 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 Ham is also another farmer, but he does
he
pork.
does pork. But whatever. The supporting cast of Woody's World are all named after the Toy Story characters. Like,
Rex.
my number one thing with
What would
this
I make
movie,
Rex?
my number one thing with this movie.
Rex. I know what Rex would be. Rex would be the scaredy cat deputy.
I mean, all right, but my big okay, we'll beat around the bush enough. The twist is terrible. I hate the twist. I don't like it. It in retrospect makes the rest of the the thing about a good twist is when you watch a movie a second time, you should be able to pick it up based on clues. And him being Zurg is terrible. Like it doesn't make the parts where you see the evil robots. It makes it not make sense in retrospect because you're like they don't justify for that character why he's just randomly attacking the city. Like if he was Buzz from the future, again they do kind of try to like lampshade it by being like, oh, they were going to arrest me or whatever. But like, why did he not immediately reveal himself to Buzz? Why did he present the image of being evil? Other than because the movie needs a bad guy. But yeah, I do think as it going forward, if we must keep future Buzz, that also works where future Buzz can now follow past Buzz into the past, and Zurg can be the bad guy.
Didn't he go back and like erase Future Buzz?
No, future Buzz turns out he's still alive at the end in the post credit.
Oh, okay, I don't remember that.
Basically, he chases
I
after
believe
him.
you. I don't remember.
He chases after him in the Zurg costume, and then you think he's dead, and then the post credit scene is he's alive actually, because I thought that they were gonna make a sequel, which they didn't.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a purist. I think we should have just found out that Zurg was his dad.
Like, yeah.
That would have been a funny
But no, this
reference.
movie did not do poorly because there was, and everyone said, oh, because of the lesbian kiss. The lesbians never kiss. They exist vaguely in the background for one scene. Get over it.
I mean,
Build a bridge. Get over it. Who
there's
cares?
there's plenty of things
To find flawed with that
objectionable
movie.
about that movie.
Here's my final
But
question though. Do you think that movie would have performed better if he was Tom Hanks? And by Tom Hanks, I mean Tim Allen.
yeah,
You think so?
I do. I do.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Would have.
I don't know how much better. Like, I'm not gonna say it would have done like leaps and bounds better, but that was definitely part of the controversy. It was like, oh, it's not Buzz.
Yeah. My big
Like,
thing is just
it to me, I think it's the equivalent of like it would okay. To bring this back full circle, you know how we feel about Kermit?
yeah.
That's what people felt about
I
this.
suppose.
So like
That's where
so
I'm saying
like
the
you wouldn't
disconnect
you
it
wouldn't have
from.
necessarily gotten like if you got 10,000 people watching it, you wouldn't have necessarily got 50,000, but you might have gotten 20.
I just think again, my big theory is that this wasn't this because there's nothing inherently in there that makes it Buzz Lightyear. Like you could strip away everything.
Oh,
that
I
makes
fully
it Buzz
believe that
Lightyear,
it was co-opted.
and it was just a because yeah, a fun sign. If this didn't have Buzz Lightyear and it was just a fun movie about a space captain who was futzing with the idea of relativity, like there's just nothing in this story that couldn't be told with another character. Like there's nothing intrinsically, again, apart from some loose visual references to Buzz Lightyear, there's nothing intrinsically tied to Buzz Lightyear with this movie. And yeah.
I also think part of my issue with it is like, so okay, he's part of like a space command thing,
Yes.
Star Command, but like a space thing. But like they're human? Are they human? Are
Yeah.
they alien?
They're all human. Yeah.
If there are aliens, it would have been cool if like some of the people there were aliens.
Yeah.
Like there's just if you're gonna make it because like it raises questions about where they come from if there's only humans. Why are there only humans? Or what are they running from something? Was the planet so did they come from like the planet of Wall-E where the planet was so destroyed that they had to like it raises questions that I wouldn't have if it was like aliens and humans and they were all mixed and it was like okay this is just the universe they live in.
Well,
There's just
it's
like Star Wars.
It seemed to be like a space colony. So like it was a big ship full of humans that they were looking for a suitable planet to live on, and they crash landed on, or they landed on the planet to determine whether or not it was suitable, and then Buzz crashed into something and that caused them to get stuck
I'm
there.
just saying they needed more aliens.
So theoretically, yeah, I guess I don't know. There's a lot with the setup where I'm like, this feels like I'm coming in midway to a story. Like I don't feel like this is an origin story for Buzz Lightyear, and that's what it purports to be, and it just wasn't. It's all right.
No, the cartoon,
yeah, put Buzz Lightyear Star Command on Disney Plus. Disney.
That one feels more like an origin than anything.
Disney, and even that doesn't, because you don't get to see the origin of what Buzz Lightyear.
No, he's already a badass. I'm just saying.
Established badass.
I'm just saying that felt like more of an origin.
He makes a
than
reference
this
to being like a nervous academy guy, but I'm like, that would have been a much more interesting movie if you're going to make an origin story for Buzz Lightyear. I want to find out the origins of Star Command, and that just doesn't happen here. It serves it out for kind of just a generic nothing of a story that, again, could be told with literally any character. It does not have to be Buzz Lightyear.
Quite frankly, they could have made Lightyear, but it was Ender's game, and it was Ender instead of Buzz. Like you're right. The characters are kind of interchangeable. He could be anyone.
He could be Dave the Spaceman, and the movie would be exactly the same. The only reason why he's Buzz Lightyear is for marketing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
Cynically, we know that. So my next movie, I don't really have much to say about because it's kind of a nothing of a movie. I watched the 2020 Monster Hunter movie.
Oh yeah, I've heard it's nothing of a movie.
Came out on my birthday.
Apparently, it's really bad.
So here's what I'll say. I've never played the games.
No.
So I'm going at this.
Not a good facsimile of them.
I wouldn't know. And I'm going at this as just a person who has watched this movie. And this movie,
was really bad.
This movie gives real. You know what video game movies used to be like?
Yeah. It was just. I've seen the trailers and it was really giving me Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
That's what it was giving me. But no, you know what it reminds me of, and that could be because of who stars in it. But it's like early Resident Evil, where you're like, oh, this isn't bad because I don't know better.
I would have also taken Michael Bay Transformers.
Yeah.
Where it's like
I said Resident Evil because Mila Jovovich is in Resident Evil.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Mila Jovovich is the main girl who plays.
Yeah, she is also in this.
Yes.
Looking down at my thing here, I do see that she's in this. You're right.
I believe her husband. Who directed it? Do you have who? Directed
the only other name on here that I recognize is Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah.
It is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, and right. It is written by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah, he's the guy who did the Resident Evil movies, and that's her husband. So that explains why she's in this.
Yeah.
So he was clearly trying to turn this into another Resident Evil, and I think we were just too far along, and we're getting too good at making it look like or being like the video game now. So like we can't get away with half-ass effort anymore.
That's where I say, like, I don't know enough about I don't know anything about Monster Hunter, but I can assume that it's not about a group of army people who somehow end up going through like a magical storm and ending up in the world, which is like similar to ours, but has monsters.
They get isekai'd into the Monster Hunter world? That sounds bad.
It is bad. And then all of them die except for her because she's the main hero girl.
Of course.
And she meets the one character who was clearly the what's the term? Representation
of the player character?
Of the player character. He's just called the Hunter.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
He's played by Tony Jaa.
Yeah, I've heard that
he's
if you're a fan
the
of
Hunter.
Monster Hunter, you don't like this movie. It's the number one thing I've heard.
And
apparently the monsters don't even look right.
Can't speak to that. Never played the original, but there's a part where they're fighting the dragon has followed them through to our world, and they're fighting the dragon, and I'm like, I feel like this should be cool, and I should be like, oh my god, but like,
no, I don't think there's any version of you, even if you knew the thing, that would find that cool.
It just was kind of generic and boring. I just don't have much to say about it, really.
That's what I heard. I heard it's generic and boring, and it came out on the day your birthday.
Technically, it was released in China first, but surprising no one considering it's a Capcom thing.
Surprising no one. Jordan, is that it? Is that all you got?
That's it.
That's
It's
it.
really a nothing burger of
Nothing.
a
Nothing
movie.
burger of a thing. Jordan.
It's just not very good, you know? It just
No, that's not it. That's Doctor Who. But
I just
no, I don't. Jordan, X Files theme song.
do 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 do. Is that it? Do
That
do 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 do
that sounds right.
do.
Jordan, this is. Oh yeah, boop, boop, boop. Yeah, you got it. The microphone's not picking it up, but I can hear it and it sounds right.
Do do
Do,
do
do,
do
do,
do
do.
do.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. This is X Files Fight the Future, otherwise known as X Files the movie. And here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. I've never seen an episode of X Files in my life. I've never watched the show. I bear no loyalty to the show. I'm watching this purely as a movie. And we talked about My Little Pony movie last week, and I said that was probably one of the better versions of a television show than a movie. This is probably one of the worst versions. Now, having not watched the show, I can't say this for certain, but it just kind of felt like, in execution, an extended episode of the show. And, like, the bit of it that was frustrating for me, and I this is where me not having watched the show comes in. The lead character is Mulder and Scully, as I can ascertain. And what I limit, okay, I'll do it this way. What do you know about the X-Files as a show? Because you also haven't seen it, so you're gonna be as good against me.
Well, what I know of X-Files is from uh other shows. So I know that you've got Mulder and Scully.
Mulder and Scully, yeah.
I believe Mulder is the girl who has the red hair.
I believe so. Yeah, pretty sure
And
that's right.
Scully is the guy.
I think that's
And
correct.
he's
Yeah.
the trench coat, and he's the one who kind of talks like this.
Yeah,
And
right.
and he's the one who's really the conspiracy guy who goes and says that he thinks that the thing is
Wow,
the
you're nailing
thing that's
it.
coming to the mainframe,
That's pretty
man.
much it. Yeah, you pretty much nailed it.
Because they parody, I know it because they parody it on both The Simpsons, and more importantly, the one where where I have the most interaction with those characters, is Reboot.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because they are on
yeah,
that show
yeah.
enough to actually be what I feel like is a fair representation of those
That's
characters,
absolutely true.
having
Yeah.
not seen the actual show.
Now my basic and somebody's gonna correct me hard in the comments on this one.
Did
It's gonna be one
I
of those ones.
did I nail your question?
That's pretty much what I thought. My understanding of X Files, from what I understand, is that whether or not the aliens are real or not is supposed to be a question. Like,
Okay.
I could be completely wrong. But to my knowledge, Skulder, as you put it, yeah, he's like the conspiracy nut, where he's like they're all out to get me, and it's all a big conspiracy, and it's them.
It's the government, man.
It's the government, man. The government is trying to cover it up, man. And like Mulder is the skeptic, so she comes in and to attempt to disprove whatever's happening and find the reasonable explanation. And I could be wrong about this, but in the actual X-Files show, I'm pretty sure you never find out whether or not aliens are real or not. Every episode contains a reasonable explanation.
Isn't the tagline "The truth is out there"?
Yeah, I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure the idea is you're supposed to wonder whether or not
Right, like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like, to me, yes, if the tagline is "the future is out there" or the truth is out there, that to me, without seeing the show, implies that you're right. The truth is out there. We don't have the truth. The truth is out there. You have to go find it.
So in this movie, it keeps doing that. Like at one point, Skulder meets with this conspiracy. Also, like conspiracy people must watch this show and whack off because it's like conspiracy heaven, man. But one of the characters that Skulder meets is like so the big plot of this is there's this conspiracy to cover up the fact that there is an alien virus or whatever that the government wants to use to population control and control people. And there's this one conspiracy person who is like, FEMA will then take over the country and assume control of the country. And that's the spot where I went, stop, time out. FEMA, like the disaster relief people, they're gonna try to take over the world. FEMA, what are they gonna do? Give you better disaster relief? It's FEMA. What?
No, Justin. If they're the bad guys in this, they're going to deny you disaster relief.
Yeah,
If anything,
but
they're the bad guys, right?
I mean, yeah. Well,
in
according to
this
this
in this
movie.
in this in this hypothetical world, they're the bad guys, so they're gonna withhold the money from the disaster relief, and bond style, when the property is at its lowest value, they're gonna go and scoop the land up,
That's
and
true.
then use their disaster relief to fix their own property
That's
and make
true.
it more valuable. See, Justin, you're not thinking business enough.
That is true. I'm not thinking business enough.
You're not leaning into the conspiracy of it all, Justin.
But
It's all the government, man.
There's so many.
All a plan.
There's a character that I don't know if he's a character on the show, but he's a character that the Wikipedia article called the Smoking Man, who smokes. That's what he does. But like they have these moments in the movie where Skulder's like, man, yeah, they're out to get me, man. Or he's talking to a character that's like, what they don't want you to know is that they blew up this hospital so that they could cover up the testing of this chemical or this virus. They this and they that, and there's this cabal of evil people, and he's like this is the thing that's happening, and the thing is presenting him as being paranoid and delusional, and like maybe is he right, is he not right? But then the movie keeps cutting back to this character, the Smoking Man, being like, yep, aliens are real, he's right about everything, and he's super dangerous. We can't have this Mulder guy around. He's figuring us out. Smokes a cigarette. And you're like, okay, so then it's not a conspiracy. It's not fake. It's real. The whole thing is real. Aliens are real. And so it gets to the end of the movie, and
Are they though?
It cuts to the this thing is they're extraterrestrials who used to be from Earth. Yeah, see, you're doing it too. You're doing it too. I didn't say they're not extraterrestrials, are they?
Extraterrestrials. I mean, unless like if that generation left and came back, they're not extraterrestrials. If that generation left, reproduced a bunch, and now they were so distinctly different, then they're different than the things that were originally from that planet.
Debatably,
then okay, they're extraterrestrials.
I suppose.
But like for example, like if we sent humans to Mars. Right,
they lived there
and they lived there like 100 years. And
then at that point, they're Martians.
They're Martians.
Yeah,
they're no longer human.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Well, they're still human, but they're not Earth.
No, they're not, because they've never. 100 years later, they have never lived on Earth.
No, but just genetically, they'd still be humans because they'd be.
They're not human anymore. They're Martians.
Biologically, the species would still be human. Martians.
No, they would have human elements. Well, no, but they would have, at that point, if they're living on Mars, they would theoretically have genetically changed and altered.
I guess this is hypothetical, but they would still theoretically, unless they drastically change, they would still. But anyway, more to the point, the movie keeps cutting back to these people being like, aliens are real. So it gets to the end of the movie. And she's like in committee with these people, presenting them evidence, and like, oh, there's not enough evidence that aliens are real. And the scene wants you to question whether or not the aliens are real, except for the aliens are real. So why are you trying to? So I'm like, is that what this show is? Just this show, the aliens are real, or and they gaslight you into trying to think that they're not real? Because I'm like, from my knowledge, the idea of the X-Files is you're supposed to question not whether. But am I completely wrong? Like.
Well, I guess, Justin, sometime in this new year,
I'm not watching the X-Files.
You're gonna have to watch some X-Files.
I don't want to watch the X-Files. I know
we're gonna have to find a reason to make you watch a couple episodes of the X-Files.
So slow and so dull and so boring. But like, this is one of those times where like, I know it's me because this is a wildly successful show that they brought back twice, Jordan. They brought it back. Because the whole premise of this movie is it takes place after the show. So they've closed the X-Files, and she's like, they've closed the X-Files. We have no reason to be partners anymore. And then the movie ends with them reopening the X-Files.
Starting the next generation.
Yeah, and so then they eventually. I remember I was in theater. I worked at the movie theater when this movie came out, and nobody watched it. Like, I remember it was empty. Every single showing was like empty. Nobody watched it. But they eventually released another movie, and then they made a season of television. and then that season of television got canceled, and then they brought it back another time. So this show is clearly very popular, and it is clearly just me. I think it's probably in this instance just me, but
I mean, to be fair,
did not
maybe
make
the
me want
show's
to go
better.
and watch the like what's funny about My Little Pony. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. But My Little Pony, at least I kind of went, you know what? I could watch an episode or two of this. This I went, I have no desire to ever watch this. This is slow and dull. This is not doing anything for me.
To me, the best comparison is, but I like this movie, so it's not an exact comparison. But like the My Favorite Martian movie never made me want to go and watch the show.
No, but I don't know that.
But I like that movie, so
I see.
I don't know if it's a fair comparison.
I see the comparison. I like the show though. To be fair, I like your favorite, My Favorite Martian show. So it's hard for me to.
I've never watched it. I've never.
Were you not there when we watched it?
I don't remember watching it.
I'll tell you the time I watched it later because it involves people we know. But you might have been in another room playing video games, so it's possible you weren't there when I watched it.
So what you're saying is that you're gonna watch the X-Files for the show.
Maybe. Solid maybe. I might come back.
Yeah, I mean, you already did Sex and the City movie 1 and 2. How much worse could this be?
Yeah, this was really dull. It was just like a lot of people. Maybe it's because there's too many people. This show doesn't take these people seriously, or the movie doesn't take these people seriously. I think it's because too many people are in the real world are saying the stuff that they present in this movie as being nutty as though it were real, and it's so
that's fair. Conspiracies aren't fun anymore.
No, they're not. Conspiracies aren't fun anymore. Like, they're not fun. So it's just I can't watch a show where a conspiracy out of nutbag gets proven right. It doesn't interest me.
That's the name. That's the name of the. That's the name of the video. Is conspiracy.
Yeah,
conspiracies
aren't fun anymore. Conspiracies aren't fun anymore. That's it. That's the X-Files. Fight the Future, aka X-Files the movie.
So my next movie is Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. This movie is
so you're
long.
Gonna say you're gonna long really? I thought you were gonna say not bad. Everyone hates this movie. How long is it if it's too long?
It's hold on, 132 minutes. Too long.
132. What is that? That is.
That's only like, I think that's like an hour 40 or something.
No,
I don't
132
know.
minutes is over 2 hours. That is
okay.
Math. 2 hours is 120 minutes. So that's just over 2 hours. Yeah, that does feel too long. This is the movie that famously nobody likes, including Robin Williams. Robin Williams doesn't even like this movie.
Yeah, I get what they're going for. I think
here's the thing. I remember liking it. In
our day and age, okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. On the one hand, it's kind of forgettable.
It's a movie where a robot wants to bang.
He wants to be human. He wants to be, and so it's supposed to be like this.
To bang.
Yeah, I mean, amongst other things, yes. But
my favorite part is where he's like, "I have a fully functioning penis."
Yeah.
See, the fact that you didn't say he doesn't say that indicates to me that that is a thing he says.
There's a point where he gets the flesh
equipment
treatment, and the person that his friend or whatever that's been helping him develop stuff is like, he says something to the something to the effect of like,
it's fully functional.
It's fully functional in every way except for reproduction.
I mean, what other way matters?
I mean, depends on whether or not you want kids. I think the thing with this movie, and I think this is kind of where my thoughts ultimately lay, is it's a movie that thinks it's more clever than it is, or wants to be more clever than it is.
This is one of those ones where like, Robin Williams went through a career period where he did a bunch of movies like this where like he thought he was gonna win an Oscar for them. This feels like one of those where he thinks, or like it reminds me of like a number of those Jim Carrey movies where like he thinks this is more highbrow than it is.
Yeah, so like, he's a robot who then his quote unquote owner, master, whatever, treats him like he's a person, but everyone else doesn't, and there are obvious implications on what that's supposed to be attributed to. We all know what I'm talking about. Enough said.
John, my glasses can't go any further down the bridge of my nose.
So, yeah, then the point where he then goes to his owner and is like, here's all the money I have in my savings.
Owner makes me
That's
uncomfortable.
what he is, Justin.
I don't like that. I don't like that word. Owner makes it sound like it's a slave-master relationship, and that makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, the master doesn't want it to feel like it is, but until that point, he doesn't actually address and give him his freedom.
See, I just remember the freaky. I think I saw a video where it's I think Adam Savage made it. I think he said he was the one who made it, or maybe I saw it in one of his videos. But the creepy Robin Williams robot. Once he stops being the creepy Robin Williams robot, I just remember the movie becoming boring.
He becomes just Robert Williams at a certain point, but like.
I remember that from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I remember
you know that he's a robot. But
like hearing some of his dialogue, like because spoiler alert, behind the curtain moment, I can hear what he's watching sometimes, and the dialogue in this sounded horrendous.
Yeah, and so
like,
it's one of those.
Terrible.
It's one of those things where if you didn't have Robin Williams in this, it would be very bad.
I saw the line where
let me finish.
Where
let
he
me
was giving the robot the sex
Let
talk.
me finish. Let me finish my thought.
This is terrible.
The only reason why anyone even remembers this movie as being bad is because Robin Williams elevates it to a point where it's worth talking about.
That he called it bad, I think probably doesn't help.
That too.
Or hurt,
but
I guess.
My point is more just if he wasn't in it, we wouldn't be talking about it.
No, you're not wrong about that. It is one of those, like, yeah, it's a bad movie, but I think it's a uniquely bad movie.
Yeah.
You kind of make me want to watch. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of want to watch it because it's one of those ones that's been so long since I've seen it.
I'd be interested to hear your smarter person opinions on it.
I'm gonna add it to my list. Your list for me. But I might remove it because I have an idea for a later episode. But it's gonna be there temporarily for now.
I mean, I might remove it because I might find other things I'd rather you watch. But ultimately, I don't hate it. I do think it's I do think it's too long. Ultimately, I think that's my most negative thing towards it. Is like there's too much of it where it's just Robin Williams looks like a human and he's acting like a person and he's no longer really a robot. Basically, this is supposed to take place over the course of 200 years.
Oh, that I didn't
know. Oddly, it took me until I watched it this time as well.
Bicentennial Man. Oh, I just put it together.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
It took me until I watched it this time as well, where I was like, wait, Centennial is a yearly thing, or a 100-year thing.
That explains, okay, because I've seen a clip from this where he goes and, like, he sees the granddaughter.
And he thinks that it's
the daughter. That explains it. Okay.
Because he hasn't
how
seen
does he
her
get
in
flesh
so
that
long?
lasts for 200 years? Did he constantly replenish? Now I have questions.
I think it's supposed to be like rubber, basically. Like, it's not actually flesh. It just looks like flesh.
I didn't realize that it took place over 200
But
years.
then you're also supposed to, like, there's a point at the end when he finally dies. When he finally dies, spoiler alert, where then his wife then was only being on the machine to stay alive until he dies. And she's like, can you unplug the thing, maid person who's behind me? And then you find out that maid person who looks human and has been acting human, is also whatever he is. Robot machine person. But like at this point, they look so human that they're indistinguishable.
Interesting.
But no, yeah, Bicentennial. Bicentennial. I don't know why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Never put that together, but.
Nope. I was just like, it's a bad movie where Robin Williams is a robot. That's all I ever put to it.
Fair. I think I've only before this watched this like once. But...
I remember watching it once when I was a child, and that's pretty much it.
It was fine.
Jordan, is that it for Bicentennial?
Apparently, it's based on a book.
Really?
It's based on a 1992 novel, The Positronic Man, by Isaac Asimov.
Oh, that explains That makes sense. That explains
And
why
Robert Silverberg.
I wonder if that's where the origin of the 3 laws of robotics comes from. We talked about this on Star Trek once. I couldn't remember.
Don't know. I'd have to look that
It
up.
comes from
But
one
that's
of
the
those
bicentennial man.
bicentennial man. My next one, Jordan. This came out on my birthday. I was surprised that it came out on my birthday in 1994.
Oh, did I say whether that one came out on my birthday?
I do not recall. Did it come out on your birthday?
Nope, that one was a day before. That was
Oh,
December 17th.
all right. I think from now on, I think these all came out on my birthday. I think it was just Lightyear that didn't come out on my birthday. X
See,
Files did. June 19th.
the funny issue that I ran into for mine was there were actually a number of ones that came out on my birthday. I just coincidentally have already done them on this show.
Yeah. Your birthday, a lot of fun. The one that made me laugh was Avatar. Avatar coming out on your birthday because we had talked about Avatar.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
That's a weird coincidence.
I should have, but I couldn't bring myself to.
Would it be cliche? We'll do Avatar another time. My next one came out on my birthday, 1994. Szechuan sauce, Mulan. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns.
Let's get down to business.
They send me daughters when I ask for sons. You're the saddest bunch I've ever met. But you can bet before you're through, somehow I'll make a man out of you. This movie's really good. This movie, I think, I don't want to be like it's correctly rated or underrated or overrated, but it's like I do feel it doesn't get enough credit because I think it's like one of the last great Disney Renaissance epics. Number one. Number two, I think it utilizes that sort of half 3D, half 2D animation technique that Aladdin kind of pioneered. I think it nails it. Like snow in this movie looks incredible. Like the way the snow moves looks utterly incredible, like ahead of its time. And
it's an incredibly sexist movie.
Yeah, I think everyone goes to "I'll Make a Man Out of You" as the best song in that movie. But I honestly think that "A Girl Worth Fighting For" deserves mentioning. It is definitely worth mentioning in that same conversation because the song maybe isn't better than "I'll Make a Man Out of You," but that sequence is so good. Just the subtle detail of having Mulan in the background as all the men are singing be utterly uncomfortable throughout the whole thing is so funny. Like it's just the little animation details of her face just being so uncomfortable is so funny.
The thing that makes that, I think that makes that song really powerful and really strong too. And once this was pointed out to me, I couldn't unnotice it, is the entire time they're singing about finding a girl worth fighting for, and they're doing it in the which at this point is kind of the standard in this movie's universe, Chinese way of looking at things of like, oh, the guy has to find the reason to fight for the girl, and the girl is all about him, and it's all about girl is an object, and that's why Mulan is obviously uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Until you get to the very end where she finds the little girl's doll and she finally finds a girl worth fighting for.
Yes, that's what's going to be my next point. That scene doesn't give enough credit because the transition from "A Girl Worth Fighting For" to the scene of the village being absolutely utterly destroyed, and the implication of what Shan Yu does to that village, to that little girl, is dark and harrowing, and the transition is so good, and I just don't think it gets enough credit. I was like, that is legit a good scene.
It is. It's a good movie.
It's a solid. The animation is stunning. The music is good.
I mean, there's a reason it's a classic.
My one thing is I think Mulan herself is a little flat. Her performance is a little flat. There's a bit where she's bathing naked and she definitely touches the fat one's penis.
Justin, this is a Disney thing. We don't talk about penises.
Sorry, Dingle Dongle. She backs into him and he's completely naked, and I'm like,
rice patty.
She would have felt it. I'm just saying.
Unless it's following other Asian stereotypes.
I suppose that's true. What else?
We're gonna get ourselves in trouble, Justin.
Oh yeah, it's just the fact that there's also the fact that she would have been executed not only by the emperor but by her family as well, because they take that honor crap way more seriously than this movie probably.
Okay, whoa, Justin, we can't talk about what would happen in reality because we will get ourselves in trouble.
She would have been summarily executed for her.
Justin, this is Disney.
For her insolence. Also, Jordan. Is she the Disney princess with the highest body count? has she killed the most men?
Uh, it's definitely up there because of that avalanche.
That avalanche, that was at least 200 people,
I'm
Jordan.
just trying to think of. I'm trying to think of all the Disney princesses.
Jordan, none of the other Disney princesses have killed anybody.
Merida, maybe.
I don't think Merida killed anybody. Like they're dead. I was like, oh, maybe it's debatable, but no. There's like 200. There's like an entire sea of men on that cliffside, and then she avalanches them, and then like 5 walk away.
Hold on. List of Disney. All Disney.
Let's see if Google will say how many people Mulan killed. Hold on. Because I'm actually curious now, and then I promise we'll move on. But,
Snow White, who I don't believe she would kill anyone.
I mean, she technically killed the queen. If you want to get specific.
Did she or didn't the dwarves
How many
knock
men
her over
did
the
Mulan
cliffs?
kill in the Disney movie?
Because I'm pretty sure the dwarves are actually the ones who killed the queen.
Okay, so according to Google, it says Mulan has a surprisingly high kill count in the Disney movie, largely due to causing a massive avalanche that buried around. Okay, this says 2,000 Han soldiers, roughly 2,000 plus men killed, mostly Huns with her actions, making her one of Disney's deadliest characters. Let's see which Disney princess has the highest body count. Mulan. Google says Mulan. Which Disney princess has the most confirmed kills?
If we're talking about just purely on screen, then yes, we'll give it to Mulan. However, if we're talking about realistically, like in their day to day, what could have happened? I can't speak for Raya because I don't remember her movie. She's apparently a Disney princess now.
Oh, okay.
According to Google. But I will say day to day life. Pocahontas lived during a time where I believe she would have killed quite a few people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she would have killed some people. Yeah, she would even if like other native. But no, But to be fair though, she's a woman. Women do not go to war, and women in that society did not go to war.
No, but this is the Disney version.
Oh, that is.
So
true.
in the Disney version, she would be all about that girl empowerment,
girl boss,
and she would have gone to war.
That's a good point. That's a solid point. She would have. Yeah, that is a solid point. And also, like, I mean, just from diseases, she could have given several people smallpox.
I'm just saying. It's certainly possible.
But in reality,
we're not going to say whether or not it would have happened, but it could.
In reality, it's Mulan. Google says it's Mulan.
Looking at the group here, I really don't see anyone else who would contend for that scene.
I googled
other than maybe Merida.
I googled which Disney princess has the highest body count, and literally the first thing was Mulan with over 2,000 people. Like, that's funny.
That's funny.
Was there anything else? Anything else that I wanted to? Oh, I'm surprised they never made a Broadway musical of this. Like, I would totally expand
of Mulan. This. Really, they've never done one for Mulan.
No, I can't. I
mean, they've done stage productions for like Aladdin, for Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think they did Little Mermaid, and they've never done Mulan.
Yeah, they did a very short run on Little Mermaid. The Aladdin one is bad. Not good.
We're not talking about their quality.
No,
we're just talking about whether or not they exist.
What I would do is I would let Chinese people and do like almost like a Chinese opera style of like like
Chinese theater.
Yeah, like a Chinese theater style musical, and lean more into Chinese music and Chinese cultural things, and let Chinese people make it. But there was a couple moments where I was like, I would add reprises. I would add a reprise for "You Bring Honor to Us All," and "A Girl Worth Fighting For." I would add reprises for that, and "I'll Make a Man Out of You." I would add
reprise of the "You Bring Honor to Us All" sung by the dad.
Yeah, totally. At the end, I would give him a reprise.
Yeah,
You've brought
honor to us all.
Yes, totally.
Or the dad and the mom.
There was something about her singing. I think it was "A Man Worth Fighting For" to Chen. Mulan having a solo after she gets found out. That's either a reprise of a girl worth fighting for, but it's a guy worth fighting for, or a reprise. Now I'm thinking about of
The
I'll Make a Man Out of You.
I see a reprise, but I don't see it being a happy one. I see it being like at
No, a
the all
sad
is
one.
lost moment
Yeah,
one,
yeah, absolutely.
where
Yeah.
where it's right after Mulan has been discovered and they've all abandoned her, and like she's still injured or whatever, and she's like, just when I found a guy worth or a man worth
Worth fighting
fighting
for. Yes, yes,
for.
exactly. Oh my god, we're so on the same page on this. Yes, that's exactly what I was when I was watching that bit. I was like, oh my god, I would totally add like she's on stage alone and it's just a spotlight on her and she's got the bandages or whatever. And
And it's
yeah,
not like
yeah.
long or
No,
anything,
it's
but
not
it's like
long. No, they're just short little reprises.
even just like a couple like little like la, 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 la,
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
finally found a guy worth
Yeah, there's a couple
fighting
moments where it's like, oh, I
as the
went,
tear as the tear is slowly going down her
yeah,
cheek.
yeah.
Single tear going down her cheek. Guy worth
She turns
fighting
away from the audience. She gets the little
for.
dropper. Trip, 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 trip. Um, no, yeah, I was like, I couldn't believe that they never tried to Mulan. I just don't think like really is out there as much as I think it should be, because I think it's definitely up there with like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Like I think it's like again the last great, because I can't. Oh, I guess maybe Atlantis, but like the last really good epic 2D animated Disney movie. Like I think that's like the end of the Disney Renaissance.
I mean, there was also Treasure Planet. That one
Oh,
was really good.
I guess Treasure Planet is kind of the last. I don't see. I don't think.
I mean, that one
I don't.
failed,
I like
but
Treasure Planet, but I don't think it's like great. I think that's good. I think Treasure Planet is good. And it's the same thing with Atlantis. Although Atlantis is a bit. I think Atlantis is good. I just don't think it's great. Although maybe I'll have to redo. I'll do Atlantis for the show and. Maybe my mind will be changed, but I think Mulan is like great. Like to me, Mulan is like upper echelon, and it's treated like middle echelon.
I never got that, but that's fair enough that you think that.
I think it's like
I always thought, but see, that's where I think it depends. Like, I think Mulan resonates very much with certain people more than others.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
like, just like I think Tiana really resonates with some people more than others.
I don't think Princess and the Frog is great. I think it's good. I just don't think it's great.
Yeah, but
Like I just do like to me the overall package. To me, there's way more effort put into Mulan. I think it's like from Emperor's New Groove on, the effort just wasn't going to the 2D movie, and then it like to
I
me.
mean, that's demonstrably true, so I can't argue with you on that point. Absolutely, there was a certain threshold where 2D profit costs a lot more than 3D.
Like
And
obviously
so a lot of
the
it went,
last.
but like when it comes to certain
Oh god,
projects,
I might have to
I
watch Home on
think
the Range.
I think they are great in spite of what the
Yeah,
audience reception
like
was.
like
So
Home on
like
the
for
Range is
example,
the last.
I do think that Princess and the Frog deserves to be, just like I do with Mulan. I think Mulan, Aladdin, like all of those ones that are that like they all deserve to be up in the upper echelon. And even if they weren't commercially received as such at the time, I think there's a
Yeah, I
like
just there's nothing that.
the animation in Princess of the Frog is undeniably, especially for the time when 2D
Yeah, but it
animation wasn't getting the
lacks.
budget, it
It
was absolutely beautiful. The music is great. I love the
Yeah,
songs
that's why I
from
say
that movie.
good, not great. Like
I
I just don't think.
respectfully disagree.
I think they lack the scale in terms of like big sweeping moments. Like yeah,
I respectfully disagree.
that Mulan. I truly believe. I think Mulan was probably like the last truly great. Like I just again, they're all
I
good. They're
disagree.
serviceable.
I disagree.
I just yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Princess and the Frog is at the end. It's good. It's one of my favorites, but I don't
We're
think.
not here to talk about Princess and the
But
Frog, though. We're here to talk about Mulan, and
um,
Mulan is spectacular.
yeah, it's certainly not as bad as Home on the Range. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Home on the Range.
Oh, I mean, you can't compare Princess and the Frog to Home on the Range,
No,
Justin.
I mean
Like those aren't even
nobody
in the
remembers
same.
Home on the Range, so we barely remember Home on the
I
Range.
barely
I don't
remember.
think
I
I've
don't think I've
seen. I don't think I've ever
I don't
seen
think
Home
I've
on the
ever
Range.
watched Home on
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
Range.
have to watch Home on the Range because that's the one. That's the last one. That's the.
Funny enough, when I picked Barn, I think it was the Barnyard movie or whatever. I think I thought that was Home on the
Oh,
Range.
that's funny. No, there's not Home on the Range. That's it. That's Mulan.
Okay,
That's the
So,
end. End card.
my last rapid fire. I feel like this is going to be hard to talk about, but it's a Clockwork Orange.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
so okay.
Kind of.
I'm gonna kind of
I
just
hate that I've seen that movie twice.
I'm gonna brush through certain things. But so we have our main guy. Also I don't remember names, so I'm just
Alex.
gonna it doesn't matter.
Played by Malcolm
It's
McDowell.
not important.
I can do the nice version. The nice version of it is it's about a young man who's hyper violent, who gets put through a program that
Not just violent, but yes, go on.
violent. Yeah, he's hyper violent in terms of like physical violence. Any kind of violent, he's hyper violent, whether it be
Yeah.
sexual or otherwise. Anyway, he gets put through a program that brainwashes him into finding ultra violence. That, to be fair, that's what they describe. That's what they call it. They call it ultra violence. To find ultra violence abhorrent and physically disgusting, and so it makes
Actually,
him.
technically they describe theft, blank, and ultra violence. So ultra violence is its own category,
Oh, okay.
but
But it's all one thing.
it's all he's a shitty person.
Yes,
Is the
it makes me, I can't, the song "Singing in the Rain" gives me the willies because it's a little, I hate that scene.
yeah.
It's an unpleasant scene.
But so okay, yeah. Basically, he's a shit person who's
Yeah.
gonna keep being a shit person. And then he gets caught being a shit person, and
Everyone turns
they
on him and treats him like shit.
and then he gets arrested, and he can either stay in jail for like another, I think it's like 10 or 12 years or
Yeah.
something, or he can agree to be part of this new project, test project, whatever, which will let him be released in like a couple days, but he has to be willing to essentially be brainwashed.
Yeah, it's one of those stories where I believe, I've read bits of the original book, but it's one of those
What's the
books.
actual term?
Uh,
Uh, brainwashed? No, just
Conditioned.
what are they? Conditioned, I think is the term I would use.
Yeah. But
Here
yeah,
it is.
in the
Experimental psychological conditioning.
yeah. In the book, it's one of those books that takes place over several years. I think he's in jail for a little bit, whereas in the
Oh,
movie,
it does in this as well.
oh, okay, well, yeah, in the movie, it's one of those things where because he's an actor and he filmed it over the course of several months, he doesn't age much. So like he's supposed to be older, but it doesn't come across that way on screen. It's one of those movies.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 2 years.
Yeah.
He's in jail for 2 years on a 14-year prison stint, which for murder, 14 years doesn't seem like enough. But that's just an
No,
aside.
no. But to be
Um,
fair, they're supposed to be living in. I don't know if they say this in the movie, but they're supposed to be living in like a pseudo near future. Like it's supposed to be
yeah.
like not the
It's
present
like an
day. Yeah,
alternate future kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Um, and so then okay.
I had an
And
issue with this. The more,
this is where my thing comes in. So he gets released,
yeah,
and everybody treats him like most people treat a convicted a felon,
yeah, pretty
which
much.
is like shit.
He shows up and his mom's
And
like, "You can't live here anymore."
so the movie wants to have this moral question of should bad people be forced to be clockwork oranges where they look normal on the outside but on the inside they're just machines, right?
Is that
Programmed.
where the name comes from?
Yes. Programmed.
Holy shit!
That
Did they say that in the movie?
They say that in the movie.
Oh shit! That just shows how much attention I paid to the dialogue because I never picked that up on that. Oh, dumb.
There's a part where one of the like after he's been brainwashed or whatever, where one of the unbrainwashed, I think it is, one of the doctors or whatever talking about the procedure is like comes down to the moral quandary of when it comes to bad people doing bad things, is it better to take away essentially take away their insides and turn them into machines on the insides who follow the law and follow the rules regardless of what their own humanity would tell them to do? Is that better than allowing them to be shitty people and doing shitty things and having free will?
I see.
That's the moral quandary that this movie really wants you to do, and this is where I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm the monster here, but he is a bad person who did a lot of bad things that they even show you some of the bad things that he's done.
Yep.
He has no remorse. He's not going to change. He's not going to get better. He doesn't want to get better.
Nope. In fact,
He's like, and so yeah, he's brainwashed and he has the option of doing bad things taken away and he suffers for it, but he earned that. He did.
I
He
talked about this
kind of
for
like he made his bed. He deserves to lay in it
yeah.
kind of scenario. And so I'm like, I know the movie is treating it like I think I'm supposed to feel bad for him, but I
Um,
don't.
I talked
Am I
about
a bad
this.
person, Justin?
I talked about this for. I think I talked about this for this show, but I also talked about this for Top 100, another show I did. And from what I recall, I remember having similar. There's something about the moral messaging of this that I remember taking issue with, but I don't remember specifically what. And I think it was something similar to being being like they treat this as though it's a. Yeah, I wish I could remember.
And then like the way they
I'm gonna insert the clip so the audience will have seen it, and I will see this later. But
the way that
I
it
had an
ends
issue with this, and I don't remember what it was.
the way that it ends is like so he's gone through like another thing or whatever, another injury or I don't remember exactly
He gets
what,
the shit kicked out
but
of him by the police, and then they try to argue
by
that
the police who were his friends.
yeah.
They were his droogs
Oh no, it was
who had
they discover the guy discovers basically he winds up at the husband of the woman who he assaulted earlier in the movie.
yeah.
And he
And
finds
so
out.
but then the point that I'm trying to get to is that by the end of it he is no longer under the social conditioning.
Yes,
And so he got away with it.
pretty much. Yeah.
And
Well, in the
he gets to
book,
continue being awful. And
in the book there's I think another chapter after he gets cured where I think it's revealed that the violence is you grow out of it. Basically it cuts to him like several, and the idea is like just like the cops, he eventually just grew out of it. He stopped doing it. And the idea is supposed to be that the
dumb.
ultra violence is inherent to the youth, or something to that effect. I just remember the ending is different in the book. It's more
That's dumb.
It explains it better. But yeah, it's like he gets tortured by the husband, and then the mayor or police chief or whatever deprograms him and apologizes to him. And I remember I hated I took issue with the ending. I think I hated the moral resolution of it. And I was like, oh,
here it
it's
is.
contradictory.
Alex awakes in hospital with multiple injuries. During psychological tests, he finds that he no longer has the aversions to violence and sex. The minister arrives and apologizes. The government had him.
Yes, and I was cured.
He's like, the minister brings in a stereo system playing Beethoven's Ninth. Alex contemplates violence and has thoughts of having sex with a woman in front of an approving crowd, thinking, I was cured, all right.
Yeah.
So like, he doesn't seem to have really learned anything.
Yeah, apparently, I'm pretty sure that the end of the book is like, yeah, he it explains it better. Apparently, Kubrick changed the ending.
So yeah, I don't know.
But it's an upsetting movie. It's an upsetting movie that I've seen twice.
I've watched it once, and I'm good. I don't think I need to watch it again.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
And that's my last rapid fire.
We did
for the week,
it.
Justin.
We did it. We didn't mention the rape.
Whoa, Justin! Whoa, we avoided it.
We almost made it. We almost made it.
We almost made it.
Why?
Oh
God, we were right at the end.
Justin?
I dropped it right, Jordan. I want to talk about Elio. John, have you seen
Elio?
Elio? Have you seen Elio?
Elio?
Elio.
I'm gonna call him Elio.
Jordan,
Elio. Which one was that?
it's Elio.
That the sea monster one?
No, it's pronounced Elio.
Elio. Yeah, I got it.
No.
So which one? Which movie
Elio.
was that?
It's gonna be
No, yeah, I got it. Elio. What is this movie? Oh yeah.
No, stop. Okay. No, pronounced Elio. It's pronounced Elio.
No, yeah, it's Elio. I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
What's it about?
I don't know what.
You know I'm doing it just to get under your skin,
Insistence
right?
on pronouncing it the incorrect way.
It's Elio. Yeah. Elio.
Honestly, Pixar. A lot of these movies are Pixar. It's the little alien boy.
Oh, alien boy.
He wants to get abducted.
I
by aliens.
No, I never watched that one, but I wanted to.
It's cute. It's really quite good. It's
I think we almost watched that in theater.
Did we? Did we watch it in
We
theaters?
wanted to.
Honestly, it's got a surprising dark start for a Pixar. Not so much for, I don't know. I felt dark for a Pixar movie, but then again, it's also Pixar, so like, but it's little boy, his parents died. It starts off, his parents are dead.
Oh, that's
Died
dark.
in an accident, and he's living with his aunt. And his aunt works for the military, and they could have been an astronaut, but gave it up to raise the kid. And then it flash forwards through his little childhood, and
The
he's
kid
already,
who is Elio?
yes, he's Elio.
Ha!
He wants to go to space and see aliens, and a conspiracy theorist discovers that a signal, whatever message they sent out into space, is being received, and Elio,
By aliens.
yeah, he sends out his own message, and it's received by this group of aliens who's basically like Space UN. I don't remember the actual name. And one of the voices, it was driving me crazy the whole time, because I'm like, oh my god, the voice sounds familiar. Why does the voice sound familiar? And I googled it, and it wasn't a voice actor I recognized, but I'm like, but the voice, it sounds something, it's recognizable, and I realized it sounded just like, oh, this might be too taxing of a reference. Do you remember the Will Wheaton show Tabletop?
Yes.
You remember whenever he would have the owl bear explain the rules?
Vaguely.
You know the voice that the owl bear would do for the owl bear to explain the rules?
Not specifically.
This character sounds just like that. It's so weird. It was so distracting. It was so weird. I'll show
But
it
it
to you later.
wasn't him.
No, it wasn't Will Wheaton, but it was driving me crazy the whole movie. I'm like, why does this voice sound so recognizable to me? So anyway, Elio gets picked up by this group of aliens, and they're like, we're a group of aliens who, like, we form this alliance or whatever, and we have all this special alien technology. And are you the leader of Earth? And he's like, yes, I'm the leader of Earth. And in the meantime, this not evil, but like Klingon style, like, we exist in battle, kind of, we'll conquer you kind of character. Rough Gruff, played by Brad Garrett, shows up, and he's like, he wants to join the group as well, but they don't want to because he's violent. He's like, if you don't let me, I'm gonna conquer your little group. And so Elio winds up meeting this guy's son, basically his little son.
Yeah, I remember that from the trailer.
And it turns out that like they're a little squishy.
He's not a conqueror.
No, he doesn't want to be a conqueror, and he's a little squishy bug thing. And part of becoming a conqueror is you have to get in your robot suit. And yeah, the movie is about the relationship between the little alien boy and the little human boy, and how the little alien boy doesn't fit in on his planet, and the little human boy doesn't fit on his planet, and them learning to accept the parents learning to accept them for who they are and love them. And it's really cute and it's really sweet. The ending is really cute. There's a really cute moment at the end that kind of got me a little bit. I was like, oh, Pixar, you got me. I was trying to think. I'm like, what is it about modern Pixar movies that are just not, I don't know what it is, but they're just not exceptionally memorable. They don't stick with me. Even though, like, when I'm watching them, I'm like, oh yeah, this is working for me. Like this one really reminded me of, like, in terms of, like, I'm not going to remember it next week. It reminded me of Soul. Or, like,
Raya.
Wasn't that Disney animation?
It is, but I'm saying it's the same kind of thing where it's like you immediately forget it.
Kinda, yeah. We're like, oh, this is good. This is all right. And, like,
It's fine in the moment, and I'm having a good time, and I enjoy it. But there's nothing really that it's no A-lister. It's like a
it
B-lister.
reminded me of the one with the little gay fish boy.
Luca? Luco?
Where there's an adult man who bullies children for some reason. People said I got really fixated on that, but it's so weird. Anyway, yeah, kind of like that, where it's like, yeah, it's good, and it kind of got me in the end. There's a couple of moments at the end where, like, it was good. I really like the fact that, and like, this is the kind of movie where you could make another one. The ending is kind of open ended enough. I won't give away the ending. It's exactly what you think it is. Everyone goes back to where they belong. But what's cool is all of the kids seemingly are played by kids. So like the
Well, then there can never be a sequel because they'll be too old.
The one kid's son, he's played by a kid, and Elio is played by a kid. And well, no, then you could just a couple years from now do it where it's like, okay, they're teenagers now, and the voices have dropped, and they're older, and you can come back to this a couple years from now when it's been a couple years and they're a little older. I like that. It allows the characters to age with time. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's pretty. I like the alien designs. They're unique. They're different. They're a bit more slug-like in terms of they're a bit more bug. Like they're a bit more bug-like. Was there anything else about Elio that I wanted to say? No, nothing's coming to mind. That's it. That's Elio. Solid little movie. Probably won't remember it next week. Like Inside Out. Inside Out to me is like we're gonna get there, but I'll say.
Yeah, that's because that's an A.
Yeah, but I'm just like
whereas this is a B.
Solid B. I would say a
B
solid
plus would be, that's fair, but it's still not an A.
It's not like the lower end of Pixar where like this is making me feel nothing and I'm not feeling it. Like I definitely felt something at the end and I'm like maybe that'll help me remember it, but like I don't know.
I mean, the thing is that it doesn't really remember if you remember it. Will kids relate to these characters?
Oh, absolutely. I think the kids will love it. I think. Well, it's so hard because it's like yes, I think the kids will love this, but like. Here, Pixar, this is a great new original concept. I just don't think it's as good as Inside Out or Up, or I don't think there's anything about these characters that like you're gonna see.
Are they
bright
and shiny and colorful and merchandisable?
I don't. Yeah, theoretically, because they're all little alien creatures. So yeah, theoretically, but I could maybe see the kids getting into this, but I don't know. I don't know. It's how well it could be represented in the parks. It's hard to be like, yeah, I think the kids will go for this when we're on Toy Story 5, right? Where it's
exactly.
Like, Pixar is nervous to make original content, and we just talked about Lightyear.
Well, let's just be fair there. It's not just Pixar. Everybody is afraid to make original content these days.
I respect this for being different, for not being a sequel. So it gets that base level of respect at the very least.
Final thoughts?
No, that's it. That's Elio.
All right. Okay.
Elio.
All right.
Elio.
Elio.
E-I-E-I-O.
So now we move on to have scenes, as we do around here.
As we do.
And I just gotta warn you and the audience that I suspect that my next two movies are going to be very fast, because what is there to say about the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, that hasn't been said by people that are way more knowledgeable about the books and are smarter than me?
It's really long.
It's really long. It's really long, and I understand why it has to be.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
The books are thick, man.
I'm just not enough of a fan of the Lord of the Rings to have an opinion on this.
I mean, I've listened to the original 3 books, and I get why this is so long. Like, I understand functionally.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I understand, because, like, there's only so much that you can cut without losing the integrity. I think it would be interesting. You want to talk about shows that are movies which could be shows. It'd be interesting to see a show version of the whole story.
Let HBO make a Lord of the Rings show. Like I get, Amazon has the rights and it's stuck on Amazon. But this is one of those times where I'm like, I think HBO would be way better suited to make a Lord of the Rings show.
I mean, yeah, they've been wanting to make one since Game of Thrones. Just let them.
Game of Thrones desperately wanted to be Lord of the Rings, so just let them make Lord of the Rings. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, every episode an hour. Like,
yeah.
Do 10 episodes. Do an hour an episode, but give it the money. Like
that's the story.
Not to go back in time, but that was the one thing about his Dark Materials I was impressed by, was it never felt like it didn't get the budget. Like that CGI polar bear looked great. He never looked bad. I will concede
what's funny is watching the movie version as well. The bear looks. I mean, he looks like that.
Yeah,
he looks the same. I mean, that's what Bjorn Bjornsson looks like. They represent him pretty well.
Yeah. But that's what I'm like. I'm like, put it on HBO and give them like a massive budget.
Yeah, and recast. Let poor Ian McKellen not come back and be Gandalf.
Yeah, maybe get a new Gandalf.
Get a new all of them.
Gonna do all of them. Yeah, I don't
Um,
understand how they're doing again. They're doing a prequel and they're gonna bring Frodo back and he's gonna somehow look older. Recast, man,
yeah,
just recast.
just recast.
Pretty
It's
sure
been long enough.
Elijah would
Give
be
it
cool if you recast.
give it the Harry Potter treatment. But I mean,
Let's get
I
Black Gandalf in there.
I mean, it'll make him stand out more when he comes
I'm
back
just
as
saying, there's
Gandalf the
nothing that
White.
says that Gandalf can't be Black Gandalf.
Well, I mean, there's technically, if you want to get into the deep lore of Lord of the Rings, no, there really isn't. He's a like my Sandar or whatever, which is essentially like the Lord of
Yeah,
the
they're not
Rings version
human.
of like an angel. He's not human,
They're not
so you can
human.
totally and technically, if we're getting real nitty gritty here, technically Gandalf the Grey is different than Gandalf the White. So what would
True.
be hilarious
Have
is
Gandalf the Black.
if you had Gandalf the Grey who was played as a black actor, and then he comes back as Gandalf the White and he's white.
Although you got to admit, having Gandalf the White be a black guy is also just objectively funny.
I mean, then what would make that even funnier is if you make Gandalf the Grey white, make him look like the traditional Gandalf, and then he comes
Oh,
back
he
as
comes back and
Gandalf
he's
the
played by
White,
a black man now.
and he's
That would
played
be
by a
so
black man.
funny.
That would
That
piss
would
off
make the
so many
internet
people,
so mad.
and it would be so
It
funny.
would be so funny. That'd be
And never
hilarious.
acknowledge it, like never
No,
reference it.
no,
Like have them like at most have them be like, "Whoa, you're like you look so different." You're like, "Oh, you're wearing white now. Like what's
right?
with the
Never
outfit
remotely
change?"
address the fact that he's now played by a black man. That'd be so funny. That would make the internet so
I'm
mad.
just saying, it would be great.
He walks out
Um,
of a puff of a smoke and he's just a black guy now.
yeah. Um, but I'm not gonna do a deep dive of this. People know what Lord of the
You've
Rings
seen
is.
Lord
They
of the
know that
Rings too.
you've seen Two
It
Towers.
introduces Gollum.
Didn't the first one introduce him?
No, no. This is the first time Gollum appears.
All right,
Well,
fair enough.
oh wait, actually no. Maybe you see him.
I don't actually remember.
I don't remember well enough. I'm pretty sure you might see him in shadow in the first one, but this is the first time he appears as a character.
Yeah, okay,
Played
yeah,
by
that
Andy
sounds right.
Serkis, who pioneered motion capture techniques and is the godfather of motion capture.
And for the record, this had a budget of 94 million.
Big success.
Do you want to guess what its box office is? Although this is definitely counting new like
I mean,
re-releases
a
and
billion,
stuff,
right?
but
Over close to a billion.
937.9 million.
Yeah, that's what I
You're
figured.
close.
Yeah, yeah. One of the most successful
Um,
every much like Harry Potter, every studio has been trying to find a Lord of the Rings ever since, including the company that made Lord of the Rings because they made The Hobbit.
at the time of its release, it was the third highest grossing film of all time,
Yeah, I don't know.
behind Titanic and Harry Potter and the Philosopher's
I know
Stone.
it's like nerd blasphemy to be like I don't really care much for the Lord of the Rings, but it's just one of those franchises where I'm like, it does nothing for me. I don't know what it is. It's not even to say I don't like fantasy because there's certain fantasy things I like, but for whatever reason, the Lord of the Rings just completely does nothing for me.
I don't mind some of the games, but like it doesn't do it for
That's
me.
fair.
And
I really like the one game, but to be fair, the one game
two,
is really good. Oh yeah, the two
two,
games. But to be
two
fair,
games.
those two games are really good, and Warner Brothers sucks. So
Yes, they do. For me, I think part of what makes Lord of the Rings difficult to really say that I'm a true fan of is a lot. I don't know how to word this. It's old.
yeah, I know what you mean.
So like it follows a lot of tropes and it has a lot of writing techniques which are old.
Yeah.
And it even in the movie version, it's a result of it coming from a book which is written by someone who wrote the book in well, I looked this up before, but it like what the 80s or 70s or 60s or 50s. I think it was the 50s, I think it was.
Lord of the
Um
Rings?
yeah. I think it was the
Really? The
50s.
50s? That's got to be older than that.
The Two Towers was first published in 1954.
Oh shit. Oh, okay, no, fair enough. I could have sworn it was old. No, maybe it's The Hobbit that's older than
The
that.
Hobbit came first, and that was older.
Yeah, that's way older.
Because this is
Really?
even though it doesn't seem
See,
like it. This
1950s to
is
like young people is like, oh, that's such a long time ago. But like grand scheme of things, the 1950s, I thought Tolkien was older than that, because he was in World War I. That was like a whole thing.
that's just
No,
what
I
Wikipedia
believe it.
says.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
I'm trying to. I want to look up The Hobbit, but I'll do that after. But yeah, no. I mean, but
From what
even
I
still,
recall,
in terms of writing techniques, it is old.
yeah. From what I recall,
Like
this one
when you
is
compare it to like reading Harry Potter, which came out in the
oh,
90s.
yeah. To my knowledge, this one is a little better paced because it's the middle one, so it's not quite as like meandery as the first and third one are. The first one I remember the
Yeah,
pacing being kind of brutal. Oh, but the first one I think is like the shortest. It's not this. When you watch the director's cut, right? So it's
pretty
like
sure
three
I
and a half
watched the
hours.
director's cut. Yeah.
I know. I'm pretty sure the director's cut of the Return of the King is like 4 hours long, and I just can't. I can't do it.
Um. Um. But part of my thing too with this is like, and this is part of why, for
But you're never gonna hear
example,
me say it's a bad movie.
no, it's fine.
It's because I don't like it.
It's just really long.
And I don't like it.
Um,
It's really strong. It's not that I don't like it. It just doesn't do anything for me. And I feel like that's fair.
honestly, for me, it well and truly comes down to the fact that it's just too long.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing
Yeah.
in there that I don't like. Like, I like the swords, I like the bows and arrows. I like medieval stuff. Like, I'm not again. I
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah. It depends on the medieval
Right?
thing.
So for me, yeah, it does. But for the most part, I like in my video games and stuff. I have plenty of video games where it's medieval stuff, and I enjoy
Fair.
it.
That's fair. No, that's totally fair. I'm the same
So
way.
for me,
Love
it's
World of
not
Warcraft.
really it's not really that angle. It well and truly is in terms of the movies and even the books.
I think it's just the language.
They're just really long,
They're
and the
really
language
long.
is kind of old.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one reason why I like the movie version more is because it fixes some of
But
that.
just in terms of like
But
epic fantasy, man, this has become a diatribe on why we don't care for Lord of the Rings. But in terms of epic fantasy, there's just more interesting epic fantasy that does stuff that those movies just don't. Like, there's no dragons or like, like
yeah, well,
big
see,
sick monsters or like
that's where part of the problem
orcs are not
with
terribly
the
interesting.
stories of the Lord of the Rings and why the world of Middle Earth to me is more interesting than the stories we have received in it. Which is why I think
Okay.
like those Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games, I think that's why those work better for me than the books
That
do,
is true.
is because I like the world it's in. The Balrog is dope.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen a Balrog? That thing with the flame whip? Like, if you actually see it, that thing is
Yeah, that is true.
dope.
I always forget about the
And like
Balrog.
when you go and you read some of the like the
Flying
background
fools.
of this world and
Flying
like
fools.
the like what happens in it and like it is interesting. It's just ironically enough, considering it's so old, underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
so like they
Yeah.
don't really like there's a lot when it comes to the Sauron and even the One Ring, which just even from the books and from this I didn't get until I kind of went and read wikis which tell you stuff that are from like the Cimmerillion and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right?
I watched
Which
a lot
like
of Lord of the Rings explained videos where I'm like, okay, I get
yeah,
this, and it still does nothing. Absolutely,
um
there's nothing going on downstairs for me.
like for me it's like I think the best thing that or the most fun thing that you could do with Lord of the Rings if you are like me and you are like a world builder kind of enjoying person, I'd like to play the D&D version of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like my thing with Lord of the Rings is like nothing in Lord of the and that's not fair to Lord of the Rings, but everything that Lord of the Rings has ever done that's worth talking about, World of Warcraft did better and more interestingly.
Yeah, but this is the originator.
But yeah, without Lord of the Rings, there is no World of Warcraft. So like, you know,
Um, I think
you know,
ultimately my summation and how I'm
you
going to
know.
end this overly long diatribe about Lord of the Rings is I think
Is bros helping bros
ultimately
helping bros?
my final thoughts are going to be I respect it for what it's done,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
pretty
really
much.
long.
Yes, that's my thing. Again, I respect it. I appreciate it. It doesn't without it other stuff I love doesn't exist. But it doesn't. I'm gonna watch it for the show once, just to say that I did. But
Yeah, that's the Two Towers.
excellent. So So my first one, I was real excited. The reason why we're doing this episode is because when I Googled what movies came out in June 19th, this was the first one that popped up. And I was really excited to talk about this movie. This movie
And then it was awful.
No, this movie is dope. And it's called Dope. See what I did there? It's a movie called Dope.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
I made you watch it once. You and a couple of friends, and those friends were not into it. And then I was like, oh, but this movie is so good. I watched this movie on the but on the recommendation, that's the word, of Andre Meadows, the black nerd. He recommended this in one of his YouTube videos. And I liked this movie so much, I watched it twice in one night. I watched it, and then I liked it so much, I put it on immediately and I watched it again. This is about a young gentleman, and his two friends, played by the main guy. I'm going to pull up the names because I want to get the names right of the characters. But the main guy is Shamik Moore, who you don't know by name. But that's it. High school senior Malcolm. That's the main guy's name. But he's played by the guy who plays Spider-Man.
In which show?
Spider-Verse.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he plays him, and his friend is Flash from the Spider-Man movies, Tony Rivoli.
Okay. Yeah, the nerd.
Yeah. And then they have a lesbian friend.
The one who, ironically, if he went to my school, would have been beaten up for being a nerd. Not actually beaten up, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole thing. So they are a group of nerds. He's what's known as a black nerd. So he is into, as the movie describes it, white shit. So he likes video games, and his particular love is of 80s hip hop music. And so the score of the movie is 80s rap music. Some of it works for me, some of it doesn't, but that's just because I'm not a huge rap guy. And he and his friends have a band called Oreo.
Because they're Oreo, Oreo.
Right, it's pronounced. Hold on, is it gonna?
That's because they're black on the outside, white on the inside.
Yes, pretty much. But it's not spelled Oreo like the cookie. It's spelled. I want to see if I can find the name.
AWREAH or AH.
Wow, you're close. AWREEOH. Oreo.
So close.
You're close, yeah. And so they live in the ghetto. They live in Inglewood, California. So they live in the ghetto. And so their love of
the ghetto, in the ghetto.
Their love of what is again characterized in the movie's words, not mine, white shit, makes them a target for bullies. So he dresses like he has a classic 80s style flat top haircut. Like he gets picked on constantly at school for this. And so one day he runs into a local drug dealer who gets him to talk to this girl on his behalf. And he winds up getting himself invited to his birthday party. And while at this birthday party, one of his crew rats, and there's a huge shoot up, and Malcolm winds up with a bag of MDMA, like a really potent MDMA, Molly. And all in the meanwhile, he's being told he needs to write a letter to Harvard, why he wants to get into Harvard and why he's just not going to become another Inglewood statistic. And so he has to go for this college interview. And so he winds up with these drugs, and one of the crew phones him and is like, you gotta give me my sandwich. I'm looking for my sandwich. He's like, yeah, I have your sandwich. He's like, where do we get talking all this sandwich talk? And so the Dom, the guy who invited him to the party in the first place, is like, yeah, don't give he gets arrested in this mix up. And he's like, don't give him the drugs, because if you do, he's going to kill you and I'll be screwed. And so he keeps the drugs. He's like, take them to AJ, to this guy, AJ. And so they show up at this rich mansion house, and there's a girl, and she's like half naked, and her brother, who is, I think he's supposed to be, I couldn't tell if he was actually a person of color or not. it seemed like he was white, and the dad, and ultimately is white. So I think he's white. He's a wigger, I think, is the idea.
Oh,
Um,
I don't think you're allowed to say that on YouTube.
can I not say that?
No
What?
idea.
I'm gonna not say it again, and we'll assume I can't say that word. I wasn't sure if I couldn't say it. I can't say the N word. I can't say
I,
that.
I I don't know what any of the rules are, so I usually just don't say
Yeah,
things,
we'll just avoid saying it again. But he's a
especially on the internet where
right
people are watching.
where people can clip out of context. That's a fair point. But
Yeah.
he's a guy who acts a certain way,
Yeah,
black
yeah, yeah.
scent, that the whole deal, and
He's a Slim Shady.
yeah, and there's a they wind up at basically at this fast food restaurant, and the other drug dealer who's trying to track them down, they get into a confrontation where they don't understand that what's going on. He ends up getting shot, and the Malcolm, the guy who plays Spider-Man, winds up alone with the sister, and she takes a bunch of the drugs, and she winds up like she's like oh I spaced. He's about to get intimate with her, and he's like, oh, I missed my college interview. I'm in so much trouble. I gotta get out of here. And she, very high on drugs, is like, I'll drive you. And instead of being like, okay, but how about I drive? He lets her drive, and this next scene is just him freaking out in the car, and she's like crashing the car up and down the street. And
What did you think was gonna
yeah, what did
happen?
you think was gonna happen? So he winds up at this college interview, and it turns out that the recruiter, because there's this whole talk of this boys club that this guy runs, and he's like an alumni, and he managed to get out of the neighborhood, and like he's an example of a success story, and you want to be this guy. Well, it turns out they tell him to meet AJ, and that's how they wind up at this the two kids' place. And it turns out that AJ is the recruiter that he's going to meet for college, to get interviewed to get into college.
Oh, yeah, right,
So
right.
he is basically Gustav Fring, essentially.
Yeah, yep.
Where
I
he's
remember that.
yeah. And then from that point on, the movie kind of becomes Breaking Bad, where it's them coming up with a way to sell these drugs, which they come to, and this kind of sort of dates the movie a little bit, kind of, but basically they come up with a system where they sell the drugs on the dark web, and they sell it for crypto, and then they convert the crypto to cash, and
Is that outdated? I wouldn't know anything about it.
in the sense that like crypto is not as like, it's still, people still invest in it, but it's not as like popular to invest in as it was back in, I think that movie came out in 2017.
Fair enough.
That was when it was still like something theoretical, I guess. So they're selling the drugs.
I barely understand how it works, so I'll just take your word
to
for
me,
it.
it's even more imaginary money than real money.
It's somehow more imaginary than the stock market.
Right? And that's already pretty imaginary. There's my favorite scene in this movie is there's a scene where the movie stops cold. The movie stops cold. Actually, there's multiple scenes where the movie stops cold, so characters can discuss why white people should be allowed to say the N-word. Like, there's more than one. There's one where he basically they introduce a character who's like their hacker friend. Basically, is the one who helps them set up the website to sell the drugs, and they introduce him by being like, yeah, they met him at programming camp, and he said the N-word. He greeted them as my N-word or whatever, and the lesbian girl slapped the shit out of him, and he never said the N-word ever again. So that cuts back to them in the modern day, to his dorm room, and there's another scene where he's like, but what if I'm like singing the lyrics to like a really good rap song, and I want to keep in, or I want to be like, you guys are my, you keep saying I'm your, how come I can't say that you're? And there's just multiple really long scenes of characters being, then it cuts to later, him talking to one of his friends, being like, "So I can't say it, but what if like we're rapping along and I'm like, it's like, no, we can't say." It's just really funny how the movie comes to all multiple times, so characters can be like, "This is why I should be allowed to say the N-word." No, you don't need to say the N-word, sir. It's okay. It's one less word you need to say. You don't need to say it. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah. So then the Gustav Fring character basically is like, "You need to sell these drugs for me," and so they manage to sell it to him all, and he goes to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I sold all your drugs for you." He's like, No, you sold the drugs." He's like, No. I set this up in your name, so it all ties back to you. And you could take this money out, or you could say that I did it, but it's all gonna tie back to you in the end. And he manages to get away, and the movie ends with the girl he met earlier. He developed kind of a relationship with her. He's like, "Oh, if I help you pass your GED, you have to let me take you to prom." And then she stands him up, but then she was like, "Oh, I wasn't upset about not going to prom. I was upset about not going to Six Flags." So they go on a date to Six Flags together. And he gets a haircut, so he cuts off the flat top.
And then they fuck.
And then it cuts. The last scene is he has his letter from Harvard, and he looks up at the camera and breaks the fourth wall, and he smiles. And they have.
And then they fuck.
They have this big long. The kind of the thesis of the movie is you end up hearing his essay for getting into Harvard, and he's like, "Here's two guys. Here's the guy who he loves music. He's got a 4.0 grade average. He loves this, that, and the other thing, and it makes him kind of a vanilla guy. And then there's this other guy who sold drugs. Or no, he's like, I built a however many business, and he sold drugs, and he did that, and he did this. And he's like, if I were not a person of color, would you even, like, if I were white, would you even ask what the difference was?" And I was like, "Oh,
and then they fuck.
But yeah, I don't obviously relate to the parts of it about a person being black. But, like, the idea of, like, not fitting in and, like, not fitting into your circumstance, I found the movie relatable, and the music is good. I really like I like Oreo. All the Oreo songs are quite good. The performances are good. Shamik Moore, this was a star-turning performance for him. It's the reason why he's Spider-Man. And it is, in my opinion, underrated, and more people need to watch it. And if you like Breaking Bad and 80s hip hop, it's good. It ends with him doing a dance, some kind of famous dance from the 80s. Solid movie. You would like it. You should watch it.
I have watched it
right now. Go watch it.
I can't. I'm busy doing a podcast.
Take off those headphones and go watch it right this second.
I mean, okay.
Hey, get back here. Jordan, we can see you. Jordan, I can see your body. I clearly see you're still there. Jordan, we can. I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know what bit you're doing.
You told me to go watch a movie.
We can clearly see you're still there. You're just
flopping
like a fatty tuna.
I definitely left to go and watch that movie. I don't know what you're talking about. My next and last have seen, because I assume you're done, is called Tron Legacy.
I regret saying that W word.
You should.
I know, I do. I regret that. I think you're right. I don't think I can say that.
If you have to question it, then you shouldn't say it.
Shouldn't say it. No, that's a good point. That's a valid point. We didn't say the N-word, though.
Yeah, no, and I'm not going to.
No, I'm not going to either.
Tron Legacy. Good sequel to the original Tron. I'm gonna fly through this one because there's really not much more to say. I really want to watch the sequel, which I hear is awful.
I hear the sequel is awful. Yeah, I kind of want to do an episode where we both share some things because I would like to watch that.
But Tron Legacy, I really like. I really enjoyed this when it did come out.
Yeah.
Didn't come out on the 18th. It came out on the 17th, but close enough. Principal photography and filming took place in Vancouver, which makes it weird when I watch this movie and I'm like, hey, I know that building.
I know that building.
But
originally,
good sequel to the original.
It's got Cillian Murphy in there, and he was going to be the son of the bad guy from the first movie. Fun fact.
Also got Michael Sheen apparently.
It does. He's the guy who plays he does the on the stick in the club.
Yeah,
I forget
yeah,
the
he is.
I forget the character's name, but
We're gonna call him Wumple.
Wumple. Yes, the soundtrack is badass. It's basically just a Daft Punk album, and it's really good.
You know, Jeff Bridges is back for this one.
The effect doesn't look great, but you know what? They tried, and that's all that matters.
You've got the weird, freaky young Jeff Bridges, which is a choice.
It's a choice.
Um, you got Garrett Hedlund as the son. Uh, Olivia Wilde as
Olivia Wilde
Quora.
as Quora, who is
Bruce
not in the next one.
Boxleitner as Alan Bradley.
The question is Tron in the next one?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Neither have I.
That's funny. Wonder if Iron Man was out at this point.
Yes,
Apparently,
yes, it was.
the administrative program who serves as Clue's right-hand man and is his chief intelligence officer, played by James Frine. He's Jarvis.
That's funny. Yes, yes. The first Iron Man and possibly the second one would have been out by now.
And then yeah, there's
Daft Punk.
sorry, hold on. Uncredited, yeah, Cillian Murphy
Cillian Murphy.
makes Cillian Murphy
Pronounce
makes
Cillian.
an Cillian Murphy
Yeah,
makes
still
an
pronouncing it correctly.
uncredited appearance as Edward Dillinger Jr.,
Yes, he does.
the head of Encom software design team and son of the former guy.
Yes, yes, Cillian Murphy.
Huh. Neat.
Yes, he's the son of the bad, and then he was gonna be the bad guy in the
And
next one until they changed.
apparently, this is a fun little Easter egg. Um, Tron creator Steven Lisberger makes an appearance as Shaddix, a bartender in the End of Line Club.
All right, all right.
Is there anything else I can tell
It's
you
definitely one of
about
those like
this
this
movie?
is what they thought it was in the 70s, and then
Oh yeah,
they
I would
got the
say so.
technology.
Oh, I would have never thought of that, but that's an interesting comparison. Apparently, Quora was inspired / formed by Joan of Arc.
Really,
Yeah.
that makes sense when you say that.
No, nothing. But no, I am interested in the sequel, so I will have to watch that for the show.
I will. I am interested in the sequel.
Because I think that's out on streaming now.
It's coming soon. One of the articles that I didn't include this week was when it was coming to streaming.
If it's not already, then I think it's soon.
So it'll be soon. It will be
That's.
soon.
Oh yeah, let's look at the. Let's do our standard. Had a budget of 170 million. Box office 409.9 million.
All right.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
That's Tron Legacy.
Not bad at all. The next one, another Pixar movie. To me, this is like gold standard. Modern Pixar. To me, this is the best modern, and that's Inside Out. I love Inside Out.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
This movie is really good. I want them to make at least one more of these. I stand by it. I think the third one should be she's an adult now. And I think they should introduce more complex adult emotions. I think that would be fun. But the bit where Bing Bong dies, Bing Bong bites it, gets me every fucking time. It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel the emotions. It makes me question, do I have little people in my head running?
I do, and mine is run by sadness or anger.
Sadness. Definitely
Definitely
sadness.
one of those two.
Definitely.
So, it came out on your birthday, eh?
It did come out on my birthday. There was a run of birthdays there where I swear I was watching a Pixar movie every birthday, and this was definitely this was one of those years. I love the animation in this. I love there's so many animation techniques in this that like Pixar just never used again. Where like I love the texture on the emotions. I love the texture of Joy's hair. I love the fact that this is something I noticed this time. Joy and Sadness have the same hair.
Huh. They're both blue.
They're both blue and they both have the same texture. They both have the same kind of hair because joy and sadness are intertwined. You can have joy and sadness. Yeah, the little visual connections like that. Um,
They're brilliant.
I love the end bit.
The train of thought.
The train of thought. We're just a concept of an idea. Richard Kind as Bing Bong again when he sends her to them. Oh man, gets me every time. Who's the one? It definitely made me go, man. I should maybe watch the show, the Dream Show, because I hear that show's actually kind of good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I saw someone say that this Inside Out is this generation's Toy Story, and like
I could see it.
I could see it, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
I think what I'll say about the and this is also connected with the second one, but I think it's a really clever movie, and it does a really good job of helping young people communicate their emotions.
Yeah.
So it connects emotions with colors. So even if a child is nonverbal and you need to communicate what emotion they're feeling, yellow, happy, blue, sad, red, angry,
green, gross.
Purple, scared.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's really clever about that, and it does a really good job. And then moving into the next one, bringing in other emotions as well.
Yeah.
But I can see how it could be compared to Toy Story.
If I were to be like, oh man, kids movies are too soft nowadays, I will say that not Pixar movies. But to be fair, I don't think Pixar needs to be. But like they're just not scary enough. Like I think this could be a tad scarier.
I think that's where the second one ramps it up.
True, yeah. Oh yeah, like I said, I want the third one to be she's like a young adult. So like, or conversely like a parent. But I ideally I'd like it to be like she's 18, just graduating high school, about to go to college, like at the end of high school now. That's where I want number 3 to be. And then
I'd settle for 16, 17.
16, 17, yeah, I don't know, because she was like 13 in this one. So yeah, I like end of high school where we get to introduce adult emotions, and I think that would be fun. And expand on the emotion and the emotional complexity of adult humans.
See, the thing is that me knowing how studios work, and knowing that they will milk these characters until the day that we are all killed by the heat death of the universe. No, the third one, because this one was what, 13, 12, 13?
Something like that, yeah.
So the third one will be 16, 17. It'll be about her, like, kind of near the end of her high school, but not quite at the end of her high school.
Then senior year is usually the go-to for high school stuff.
Yeah, and then the fourth one will be about her junior year in college, and then the fifth one will be about her daughter.
Well, that's why I'm like, you do 17, 18, end of high school. She's graduating. The anxiety is about graduating because that's a major life event. And then the next one is like
the fifth one we will still be in Riley's head, and it'll be about how she's now a mom raising a daughter.
That does feel
we see the emotions.
That does feel like a reasonable
perspective.
That does feel like a reasonable trajectory. But yeah, I know that I want adult Riley eventually. Like that's I want to see like how these movies can tackle having emotions as an adult, because I think that would be interesting. But also
you'll get that, Justin. That'll be in the fourth one.
I don't know. I mean, if this truly is our Toy Story, then Inside Out 3 has to come out, right when they're the same age as Riley. Like if Riley is Andy, then Toy Story 3 was he was just going to college. So that's where
yeah, but Toy Story 3 took like 10 years to come out.
This will probably take that long. Maybe.
We'll see.
But yeah, that's what I want. I want it to be like, again, she's just about to go to college. I think would be like the nice sweet spot. Or in college, like end of high school. I think senior year is a nice, she's 18, senior year, about to graduate high school. It's a nice like, yeah, she's just leaving.
Transition period.
Yeah, into it, for your transitionary period into adulthood.
Because that's kind of the theme that's always been with these movies, is it's always about the transition period.
Yeah.
So the first and second one, it was like puberty. So logically, the next big one I mean, you could do high school and do like driving and stuff, but like the next big one is graduating.
Because like you're like when you're 18, between 18 and 20 is the most awkward of times because you're not quite an adult, but you're not quite a teenager. You're still figuring out what you're gonna do. You can't do the adult stuff, but you can't hang around You can't hang around teenagers
I
anymore.
would I would argue between 18 to 25 is that range, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, 20, 21, 18 to 21, and then 20.
I would we
Now,
have different opinions, but anyways,
because your 20s is
we're
like
ultimately saying the same thing, so it doesn't matter.
just your beginning of your 20s is really more that is more closer to adulthood than you can do way like
Anyways,
by 21 in America you can do most legal things. That's why I'm like 18 to 21 is that
yeah,
weird.
but I'm looking at this from the way where the emotions in her head, and you're not you're still a kid until you're like 25.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's where I'm like, yeah. It's just high school is just to me the better. That's the better. Like you're right because you're like you could do like she's 20, 23, and like she's just kind of coming into adulthood kind of period of her life. But yeah, end of high school just seems like the
It
most
just
like
makes the
transitionary
most
like.
sense.
But also like to me 18 to 18, 19, 20 is the most awkward because like that's the period where are you gonna go to college and continue? Because to me college is like especially in America, university college is like teenager is like high school plus almost, or you're just
Uh,
kind of extending your high school experience, your high
Yeah,
school
that's why
social
I
experience.
think like the end of third one, like end of high school kind of area, last couple months,
Yeah,
and I would have it be where like like first half of the movie is like the graduating period, second half of the period is yeah, the she has to decide whether she wants to go to college or not college. Ultimately, I would have her go to college,
see, I would
though
even not go to
if
college.
you wanted to be clever or present the illusion of cleverness, then I would have the twist be that she ultimately decides not to go to
That's what I would
college.
do. I think that's way more interesting.
Um, and then yeah, fourth movie is a couple years down the line where we see the fallout of her decision. And then fifth one, she has a child, and we get to see inside out from the perspective of a parent.
Yeah, see, I'm like, I see, I'm way faster. I'm like tighter, quicker. Fourth one, she has a child.
Too soon.
I don't know. Although you're right. Fourth one, she's graduating high school. Or
No,
third
third
one,
one, she's
graduating
graduating
high
high
school.
school.
Fourth one, she's in college. Fifth one, family with kids. Yeah, okay. I think I see it now. Now that you've said it, I see it. Anyway, that's Inside Out.
Like fourth one, like you could like maybe end with her graduating from college, setting up the she's met the love of her life in college for them to ultimately have marital problems in the fifth one.
I would like one where you do. I do like the idea of even if like in the third one we introduce a boy, and I would like the idea of dueling emotional perspectives. So we see inside two people's heads, and not just for a gag, but for like there's two sets of emotions
See,
characters.
the easy cheap way to do that
That'd be kind of fun.
is between the second and third movie, it's been a couple years. Riley, or not Riley, Riley's parents have had a additional child who is a boy,
Yeah, that could also work. I was thinking more of a
and we
love
have a
interest thing,
younger
but yeah, that works
we have
too.
a younger sibling dynamic, and
Um,
like then you can have happy joy gets frustrated by the little kid who just won't leave them alone.
that'd be kind of fun. That'd be
And
interesting.
it's then the idea of this outside force that you have no control over.
I mean, yeah, definitely. If you're gonna do the she's 18, like graduating high school, introducing like okay, in the intervening years, yeah, now they have a toddler. That would be kind of interesting. Anyway, that's Inside Out. That's the end.
So now we move on to the have not scenes. Um, and my first one is called "You've Got Mail." Um,
Oh yeah, this is Tom Hanks, right? And
it is Tom Hanks,
Meg Ryan.
and yes, you got it.
Uh,
Got it on the first try.
they live in Seattle, and something about AOL, and she mails. No,
Man,
Magic
Manhattan,
Mailbox, Magic Mailbox,
Manhattan.
Manhattan. But
They live they live in Manhattan on the Upper West Side.
maybe I'm thinking of a different movie because there's a movie I recall where it's like he puts the letter in the mailbox and she receives it in the future. Or am I thinking of a different movie?
No, that's not this one.
This one's the AOL one, right?
This is the AOL one
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I knew,
where
I
they're
knew that it had Tom
basically
Hanks and Meg Ryan. That much I knew.
basically they're anonymous pen pals.
Right.
who they've been talking, but secretly talking back and forth using
Right.
the AOL dial-up "You've Got Mail" thing.
You've got
And
mail.
but in real life, she owns like a family-run toy or bookstore, not toy store, bookstore, and he works for essentially chapters.
Gotcha. That makes
So
sense.
like his place is the big box one where everything's cheaper and it's got the soy macchiatos that you can buy and you can hang out and like it's the big one. And he comes into the neighborhood and is essentially trying to put her store out of business. So in the real world, they hate each other, but
But
online they don't know that they're talking to each other and they're falling in love with each other.
oh snap.
And and then they're like they have like a he's giving her advice without giving details because they have a rule not to give each other details. And he's like, we should meet. And so then they agree to meet, and she's there sitting at the table, and he's at the door with his buddy or whatever, and he looks in and he sees that it's her, and then he goes in as if he's just randomly shown up there, and he's talking to her, and she's being a real royal bunt to her.
Pain,
Um,
pain in the butt.
sure. And
Pain in the
so then he's
tuchus.
like, well, fuck her then. I'm gonna let her think that she got stood up. But then she writes like an email to him going like, I assume there must have been like a good reason or something, and da 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 da. And he keeps going like, okay, I have to resist responding. And then he responds, and then it's like this fun game that he's playing because he's realized that, had they met in a different way, they probably would love each other, and he does love her. So then he starts responding to her again via the email, but then like he also goes after because she's at this point she's sold her business and they now no longer have any reason to hate each other. So like he goes to her and is like basically becomes her real life friend as well. So then she's telling him about these emails, and then he's giving her advice about himself. And then like at the end, they agree to meet again or whatever, and she's waiting or whatever, and then he shows up and she's all like, "Ah, it was you all
I see what
along."
you did there.
And they fall in love and they all live happily ever after. And there was really only one confusing point where it's like there's this guy that like she was with, or at least I thought they were with, but then it seemed like they weren't with each other, and it was a little confusing. But overall, it was fun, and it came out on the day I was born, and it has Tom Hanks, and its budget was 65 million. And Justin, do you want to guess what the box office was?
12 million.
250.8
It's
million.
a lot of million. It's more
And I
than
liked
one.
it.
It's more,
It was
more than
fun.
1 million.
It was fun.
All right. All right. All right. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. My first one, Jordan. Uh, hmm. It's a movie called The Music Man. This came out in the 1960s, and it takes place in the 1910s, and like it's just one of those stories where, this just really okay. So, the plot of this is it's about a traveling salesman who is infamous for rolling into town, selling people a bunch of musical instruments, and convincing them to start a marching band, and then leaving them without any knowledge of how to play these instruments or how to form a marching band, and he gets chased out of town. And the way he gets them to accept to buy the instruments and start the marching band is by going into town and rallying them up against the pool hall and making them think that pool is evil.
Like pool, like the green table, like
Yeah,
billiards pool.
like the billiards pool. Like the local billiards hall is a den of ill repute, and it's just one of those like
Okay.
conflicts where I'm like, I guess maybe in the 1980s in the 1900s, I guess maybe pool could be scandalous, but from where I'm sitting, 2025, it's not. And
So I'm at 7%.
okay,
I have to switch over.
okay,
Just so you know.
all right. Well, we almost made it. We're like right at the end. It's pretty good.
I was trying to push it, and it just.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we almost made it. We almost made it to the end. I'm not cutting this out. I'll just entertain until Jordan's ready. So this is... Biggest problem is it's a musical from the 1960s.
If we were on my last thing, I know 7% would be fine, but you're a talker.
Hey, we almost made it. You know, we're pretty much right at the end. I don't have much to say about Roxanne, and we only have one more thing for you, so you know. And we did an additional thing, so you know.
We might have made it, but I wasn't willing to take that chance.
The Music Man. So the big number. Okay, so yeah, so he's a so. As a person in 2025, I don't find the idea of a pool table to be objectionable, so I didn't really understand the moral objection. And just the biggest thing is it's a musical from the 1960s. So in the 1960s, when it came time to make musicals, just put the stage show on film. Just took the stage show and put it on film. So it's got all the
like
original.
Dracula.
Yeah, like Dracula. Yeah. So, like a lot of 1960s musicals, it's agonizingly long, just painfully long. It's two and a half hours, and you feel every second of it.
Or like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, or Mary Poppins, or
intermission in the middle.
This remarkably did not have an intermission, but it's 2.5 hours long. It's painful. It's painfully long. Like a lot of the musical, like there's so many like musical numbers that like, hey man, maybe if I was a fan of the big thing with this is a very popular musical, so like this is another case if I'm probably in the minority. But there's so many songs that I would cut to make this 30-minute shorter. Like there's a song that the kid sings about like a certain capital city of one of their states that just goes on forever. Like it's one of those musicals that you just don't realize like things reference it constantly. So like very famously, just off the top of my head, Monorail.
Oh yeah,
That's making fun of the Music Man. Shapoopy.
Yes.
Yeah, Shapoopy from Family Guy. That they just took that scene shot for shot. So like,
not shot for shot. It wasn't football.
No, but all the choreography and all the dance moves are literally shot for shot, exactly the same from the original movie. Recreated perfectly. There's the original song is way longer and goes on for fucking ever, and there's way more dancing. But like, yeah, all the bits where they're dancing together, that's exactly what it looks like in the original movie. There's a couple of songs from that Family Guy did, and yeah, it's just. The dialogue is really fast and it's hard to follow and it's really boring and it goes on forever and none of the music except for Shapoopy is particularly interesting or great. It didn't really do anything for me, and like, yeah, I determined that I wanna do more musicals from the 1960s because I'm determined to find one that I actually. Oh yeah, the main guy doesn't really sing, he just kind of talks set to music. Like a lot of the songs are just kind of him talking like this in a rhythm and kind of talking like this and doing this and talking about this. It's the Music Man, the Music Man, the Music Man. You know, like that, where they're not really singing, they're just kind of talk singing. A lot of the songs are just that. Like I did none of. But what's really funny is vocally, I know that Hugh Jackman did a production of this musical. Like he's a big fan of this musical. He's done a few productions of this, and it's the kind of I could see him playing this character. Like the vocal, because the guy who plays him in the movie is the guy who originated him on Broadway. Like clearly this character has a particular vocal range, and I definitely am like, yeah, I could see Hugh Jackman playing this character. It's one of those musicals where I'm like, this would be better if we made this today and chopped off 20 minutes. And like if they did make it today, they would chop off. There's so many, like there's a song they're singing a song about the this particular kind of drugstore in the States. They sing a song about a truck coming that goes on forever. It's just, yeah, big thing, too long. I know you said that earlier about a movie earlier, but yeah, big thing, too long.
Mm.
Too long.
Yeah, I said that about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and something else. The Adam Sandler thing. Not Adam Sandler. Can't remember. One of your first movies. You were like, oh, Bicentennial Man. You were like, it's too long. It's too long.
Oh, yeah.
It's too long.
Yeah.
But also,
Oh,
like,
man.
I don't like offering criticism of a thing from the 1960s. Movies were different back then. Like,
Other than the people.
Other than the people. I have no problem criticizing the people. But no, movies were built different. Like, the thing you have to understand is, like, this I guarantee you probably played in road shows. So it would have been presented in theaters like it was a play, like a theatrical like proceeding. So like the movies needed to be long in order to justify spending an evening out. That's why
Yeah,
movies.
Gee Willikers. It was an evening out with the man, with
Yeah.
the wife, the ball and chain.
The movies needed to justify that existence, so that's why a lot of movies from that era are just long because yeah, you went out for the evening, right?
And I think we're returning to that world because movies just are way too long.
Movies are just way too long. That's it. That's the Music Man.
All right. So, my last one is not going to take very long. It's called Sister of the Groom. It was directed by Amy Miller Gross, written by Amy Miller Gross, produced by Amy Miller Gross.
Wow, Amy Miller Gross really wanted to make this movie.
Apparently. Have you ever watched a movie where the entire time
Yes,
you
I've watched
thought
a
it was
movie.
where the entire time you thought it was one person, and then you found out that it was in fact a completely different actress and you were wrong?
Probably.
The main girl or main woman, whatever, is played by Alicia Silverstone,
Oh, Alicia Silverstone. Yes.
and I thought she was Drew Barrymore.
I can see why you would say that.
Just the entire movie, I thought the character was played by Drew Barrymore. So basically, Audrey, Alicia Silverstone, goes to the Hamptons with her husband, to her brother Liam's wedding, and he's getting married to Clemence, who's a young French woman, and sister doesn't get along with bride. Bride is kind of a bitch. Sister is kind of unpleasant. I know I'm supposed to probably sympathize with one of them, but for the life of me,
But I didn't.
I don't sympathize with either. Um, I sympathize with the sister a little bit, the main character a little bit, because like ever since I guess they had a daughter or two daughters or whatever, and ever since she has had this skin condition where the belly from like the belly or whatever, the skin from the pregnancy never went away.
Oh yeah.
So like she wears stuff to cover it up. Um, and then yeah, the brother is supposed to be like 8 months younger than her, and this is okay. So this weekend that the wife, the bride to be, has changed the wedding to last minute is our main character Audrey's birthday weekend.
Gotcha.
So that's strike one against the bride to be, is that she very it comes across purposely changed it to be on the sister's day.
How dare she?
To take away from the sister.
How dare she?
And then there's also the fact that the brother of Audrey, the one who was getting married, the groom, he is supposed to be like 8 months younger than her. So she's turning 40. So that means he's like 39, right? And his wife is supposed to be in her 20s.
All right.
And it's like, dude, she's way too young for you. It's inappropriate.
Totes inappropes.
Totes
inappropes.
And there's a lot of drama, and it's not great.
It's not. I mean, it's just. It is what it is, you know.
I had a real hard time with this because it feels like I'm supposed. I will say, the there's elements to like, but um, I think this movie is really uh,
Bad,
torn
not
not
good.
torn down.
Oh,
I was gonna say it's held back by the fact that I don't think either of them is in the like is likable.
oh yeah, you guys are just a bad couple. You're all just
Um,
bad for each
well,
other.
not so much that they're a bad like I mean like the sister and the bride.
Oh, they're
The
both
two
terrible people.
they're both unlikable people. Um, Arguably the bride is more unlikable, but like yeah, the sister pretty much does everything she can
That sounds frustrating.
to like make the wedding not happen, right? So like
Does
she's
everyone learn a
also
lesson in the end
frustrating.
though?
I mean, by the end of it, they are all getting along, and you know it all kind of works out again, and it's all good again. So it gets the happy ending, but it's just I don't know, it just doesn't really hit for me.
That's fair. That is fair.
It had a budget of
50 million.
it doesn't say, and it had a box office of it doesn't say. Also, and this was part of why I picked this. It was so you obviously from and I'm assuming it's the same one, but you from Power Rangers will recognize the name Saban.
Oh, Saban produced this.
This was Saban Films.
Yeah, they've produced a lot of weird shit that their name has popped up. Like Saban produced a lot of you know those bad Kevin Smith movies I talked about. They
Yes.
produced a lot of those.
Um,
Weirdly, they produced some weird movies. So I am surprised to hear that, but I'm also not surprised to hear that, which probably will surprise you.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of Saban films
yeah,
actually.
they did a lot of other stuff other than Power Rangers, but they've done
Like
some truly bizarre, weird stuff.
like I'm looking at their list, which is long. And I'm just saying for a future episode, I think we could do a Saban episode.
Really, really. Okay, show me tell me some of the list later.
Oh,
Remember that for later because that's
I'm just
interesting.
gonna I'm just gonna send what I'm looking at to you.
Because that's
You keep
interesting.
you keep talking. I'm done. There's
All
nothing else for me
right.
to say about that one.
That's fair. My last movie is gonna be quick, so we don't have to worry too. Jordan, you know the story Cyrano de Bergerac?
No,
What? Not by name? Really? Okay. Cyrano de Bergerac is Okay. There's
not
a
not by name anyway.
you definitely know it. It's the one where it's the girl. There's a really pretty girl, and there's a guy who's got a big nose, and he's in love with the girl, but the girl is in love with his friend, and so he writes her letters on his behalf, and she falls in love with him.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty standard
You've
trope.
seen it in something. This is an adaptation of that. Fine. I in every version of this I've ever seen. She always gets the girl in the end, and I discovered this time that in the original play he dies in the end, so he traditionally does not get the girl. But yeah, the big thing with this is he's a perfect, insufferably nice, and ultimately oh yeah, Steve this has um shit, what's his name? Oh my god, not Steve Rogers, not Steve Carell. Steve Martin has Steve Martin in it.
Cool.
You know who Steve Martin is?
I know the name.
He's the guy. He was Jacques Clouseau in the Pink Panther remake. He
Right.
you ever seen Cheaper by the Dozen?
Mm,
He was the dad in Cheaper by the Dozen. He what else?
I know the name. I'm just having a hard time putting a face to
You,
it. Doesn't matter.
his whole my whole thing with him is he's one of those actors who like he's always had like shock white hair, and he's one of those actors where he's always looked old. Like, was there ever a period where you didn't look old? But the whole conceit
I
of this
think he
is
was wasn't. I think he was also in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
yes he was in Trains. Wait, what have you watched Trains, Planes, and Automobiles?
I haven't, but I remember that the box
Yes he is.
of
He's in
it.
Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Yes, absolutely. Um,
At least I don't think I
The
have. I
whole
don't know.
thing
Maybe
with
I
this
have.
is he's the fire chief for the local fire, and this was filmed in Nelson, so it's in a town named Nelson. And he is insufferably perfect, nice, charming, funny guy. And the only quality of him that is not appealing to himself is he has a big nose. He is very insecure about his big nose. He is otherwise a perfect human being, except for his really big nose. And I guess just it's just one of those things where I've never really felt insecure about like physical features of mine. So like I don't understand why he's so insecure about his nose. It's just a big nose. Who cares? But like I'm sure somebody out there is going to be like, "But Justin, these are all the reasons why a person might be insecure about their big nose." But I would never be, even if I
I
had the
mean,
big.
everybody has something they're insecure about. I don't like my feet.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but nothing quite like nose or hair or like not a defining physical feature. Yeah, there's like little things, but like no, I don't. I'm not.
I would say your feet are a big defining feature, and
No,
I'm
but
embarrassed
fair,
by
fair,
mine.
fair. That's all. I'm not. I'm saying I don't. I don't feel self conscious about.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel insecure about those kind of things. So I
Mm,
don't. I don't find the notion of somebody who is otherwise a perfect cinnamon roll of a human being. I don't find the notion that he can't get a girl believable, because he's super
that's fair.
charming and super nice and super handsome. Also, it has the guy. Oh, he's one of those guys. He was in Wall-E. He was the president in Wall-E. Remember the president in Wall-E? Or if you remember,
President.
he
You mean the captain?
the one guy who was live action.
Oh, I know who you're talking about,
Was
but
it
I'm not
Captain?
well enough.
Or if you remember, um,
I know the scene you're talking about. I can't picture it.
Wizards of Waverly Place, the gargoyle, the guy who looks like he's always smiling.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
He's
yeah.
in this, and he looks like stupid young. He looked like really young. It's super weird. It was one of those like one of those times where you've only ever seen an actor be old and stuff, and like
Hmm.
he like noticeably much. He looks much younger than Steve Martin, even though I'm pretty convinced they're like the same age.
I
It's
mean, yeah,
really
that's like
weird.
that. That's like
Super weird.
that's like when I go back and I watch like Shawshank Redemption, and he's not young there, but like he's still younger than the young
Yeah,
he is now.
yeah.
For Morgan Freeman.
Like you're aware that these
Um,
people were younger at one point, but it was
it's
really
like
weird.
it's like seeing a picture of your dad as a
Yeah.
teenager.
Um. Yeah, I've heard that there's not. I've heard that there's a version of this story with not Benedict Cumberbatch, um, not Benedict Cumberbatch. He was on Game of Thrones. Oh my God, what's his
He's
name?
on
Peter
Game of
Dinklage. There's
Thrones.
a version of this
Oh,
with Peter Dinklage that apparently is way better that I'm actually curious about. But yeah, again, it's just a lot of the humor just didn't work for me because it was just all cracks and jokes. There's a scene that's a really long scene of him just saying relentless jokes about his nose, but it's like he's got a fake prosthetic nose on, like that makes his nose look extra long. So it's not like it's like a regular nose. It just yeah, I don't know. None of the humor worked for me because it's really dependent on you finding the fact that he has a big nose funny, and it's just like that's not something. Yeah, again, I'm not self conscious about my nose. Like it's just not something I relate to. So it didn't. The humor didn't land for me. The one nice thing about it was that it was short. That's it. That's Roxanne. 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 That's Roxanne.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Party on.
Excellent.
Excellent. Woo 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 woo. So next week, Jordan. Next week, I want to bring back once again. We do this at least once a season. Maybe this season we'll do it twice a season. We'll see. But I like to start the new year off with a pick an actor. But this time, Jordan, there's a twist. You didn't say the thing.
What a twist.
What's a twist? The twist this time, Jordan, it's double actor. Double pick an actor. So you have to pick two actors. You have to do 4 from one, 4 from the other. And then if you can manage to find one that contains both of them, that's the challenge. But if you can't, no big deal, because my two can't. I have already selected mine. I'm going to do Robert Pattinson and Bill Murray. And they're not in a movie together. So my ninth one is, I don't know what I'm going to do for it yet. But
I'm gonna have to think on that one.
you got two. You got to pick two. 4 each. And then yeah, if you can connect them, that's fine. But if you can't, then just pick a fifth of one of them. That's also fine.
I'll have to think on that.
That's fine. That's fair. That's fair. That's next week. Get excited, Jordan. Are you excited? That's it. That's his excited face. Nobody heard that. Anyway, Jordan,
That's screaming with excitement.
Where can the people find you?
I do Minecraft Monday on Mondays. I do Minecraft where I play Minecraft on Mondays. On my Twitch, ZethGore187, and I'm here on the weekends.
I'm also here on the weekends when Jordan doesn't do Minecraft on Sundays with Jordan. But I'm also on TikTok at Justin Spurr. You can follow me there for all my sizzling hot takes. Or you can follow the show, Spur of the Moment P, on TikTok. Or you can email the show if you want to be on the show. It's Justin's Business at gmail.com. There's other things, Arte Media, the BC Wildlife, support them. I'm sure there's other things you can.
And get the animals.
You can click in the description. Jordan, if they want to see last week's episode, which was our New Year's episode, last year, which box can they hit?
Left.
But if they want to see a random video that YouTube thinks they're going to enjoy?
Right.
Jordan, how many videos a week do we put out?
Every day.
Every single day there is new content several times a day. What should they do because of all that content, Jordan, to receive all that content?
They should like and hit the bell, and they should subscribe, and they should
subscribe.
They should share, and they should comment.
This video a like if you haven't already.
And they should give me $5.
You should give us, but you know what? We'll get us $5 hitting like. Like, honestly, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us out a lot. Do it. Do it. Do it.